Good afternoon and welcome Whalers fans once again to Vito Capizzo Stadium. I'm Chris Morris alongside the legend that is
Dick Herman.
Dick Herman, and we are happy to be bringing you live coverage of Nantucket Whalers football. The Whalers going to be hosting the West Bridgewater Wildcats. That's a lot of W's.
There's a lot of W's in there.
But a beautiful day for football, and our pregame report, is brought to you by Nantucket Marine and 8 Arms Chef Services, providing Whalers fans with full-service catering, prepared meal drop-offs, and private chef service. And, of course, our friends out at Nantucket Marine, serving Nantucket Island and its waters for over 55 years. And, Dick, both teams actually coming off big wins. The Whalers looked very impressive against Nauset, winning 38-0. And West Bridgewater took care of business against Bourne, a much smaller school, and really dominated that affair, 49-0. But gotta love that the Whalers are firing on all cylinders offensively, getting those big play guys the ball with some open space.
Yeah, Nauset, close game for a while, but Nantucket blew it open.
Yeah.
And, they scored, 38? Could have easily been 58.
Yeah.
One called back, 2 or 3 other long runs called back, so they were firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, scoring an offensive touchdown via the pass, via the run. Special teams, Bodden got a punt return, and then, as you remarked, they almost had the defensive touchdown. Garner Ray, unfortunately, the victim of a penalty, despite an incredible 100-yard return. Pinball return. There's
return.
I'm going to give you credit for that one, though. Again, the offense overall looked much more balanced. They were able to get some passing. They were able to get some running. And honestly, the special teams have really, in both wins, been the difference. Justin Blois, Mr. Do-It-All, taking care of the kicks, both the field goal and extra points, and punting has been excellent, really turning the field on a couple of plays.
Yeah, if you have an opponent of the Whalers, you really got to be nervous about your kicking game, because anytime there's a kick involved, Nantucket can score on that one play. And so I don't know how teams are going to play it out. Big one coming down the road in 2 weeks with Sandwich. We'll talk more about that.
We will.
But, West Bridgewater today is a tough team, too. Always play the Whalers tough. But today we get the kicking game to think about with the wind factor in it.
Yeah, there's definitely a stiff breeze coming out of the west. And it is, I watched the JV game. It definitely played havoc with a couple of passes. One punt went over a kid's head, and it should come into play and will be part of the strategy right off the bat with the coin toss to see who's going to play into the wind and who's going to have it in the second and then fourth quarter as well. Defensively, we do have Coach mcwillet on our coach's corner, but I got to say, they stepped it up last week. Obviously dominated the defensive line play.
Unbelievable play on the defensive line. Yeah, they didn't give Nauset much chance to do anything. A couple of times Nauset had a few back-to-back first downs, but other than that, they did nothing on their offensive end.
Yeah, and they face a stiff test today in West Bridgewater. Both teams 2-1. I talked to Coach Kogler as well, as we have coming up in our coach's corner. We'll see. But his biggest thing was just dominating the line play. They had 5 different rushers last week score rushing touchdown. Didn't even throw a pass last week. So, I mean, you got to think that was the key for Coach Willett, controlling that middle, stuffing the middle up, and almost letting them pass. See what you can do.
One thing that West Bridgewater has always done year in and year out is stay with their game plan. You can't throw them off it. If they think they can run the ball, they'll work at it, and they're a tough team to stop in the middle of the field.
Yeah, I was actually over at the game last year, 16-6 loss for the Whalers, but it was just back and forth the whole game. Unfortunately, the Whalers not coming up on the winning side of things, but they just play them tough, and they were geared up. I read in the Enterprise, which is like the West Bridgewater local newspaper there, and they were already talking about Nantucket last week.
Yeah.
So they were gearing up for this one. I know Coach Kogler is always happy to come across the pond here and take the trip over, but it makes for a long day. It is definitely a distinct, unique home field advantage that we have here with the boat, and you stay and wait and you don't know, and It's very unique here on Nantucket.
A lot of different factors because
Yeah.
if West Bridgewater plays 10 games this year,
Yeah.
9 of them they just get on a bus and they probably travel for a half hour, maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And this, as you say, is a whole day. Some of these kids left their house this morning at 7 o'clock to get to the school. They probably won't get home to 9:30 tonight. That's by the time the whole thing, they're going back on a 7 o'clock boat, so that puts it at least 9:30, 10 they'll be getting home.
And I don't know about you, I'd be getting hungry during that time.
Right.
I mean, they get some pizza here at the end of it, but a little something for the effort. But
They
I
better,
mean, that's a long day.
They better add extra vegetables, extra pepperoni
On the pizza. That's right.
today.
That's right. Well, we're hoping that the Whalers send them for that long boat ride back with a loss, but we'll have to see. That is coming up shortly. We are actually going to go to our Coach's Corner segment here, where we get to chat with a couple of the coaches. We actually interviewed Coach mcwillet, the defensive coordinator for the Whalers, and Justin Kogler, the head coach of the West Bridgewater Wildcats. So we will cue up our NCTV 18's Coach's Corner. And we'd like to welcome you to the NCTV 18 Coach's Corner. Happy to have Whalers defensive coordinator mcwillet on the camera. And Coach, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Excellent. And coming off a big win, really a statement win against Nauset. Defense held them scoreless. I'd be happy about that. Were there a couple of specific things that you noticed and that were good, and maybe a couple things that you still need to improve upon?
Yeah, I like the total team play of the defense. A lot of team tackling, a lot of guys moving in the direction of the flow of the ball.
Yeah.
There are some things in our coverage that we need to work on, a few blown coverages, and a few of their bigger plays. I have to kind of take responsibility, sending blitzes to the wrong side, gambling a little bit with these guys. But for the most part, defensively, if you look at our season so far, we have one kind of poor quarter in Mashpee. The rest of it, the defense has been pretty solid. So the kids are working hard.
Yeah, and you've got a great group. Obviously, some of those leaders have been, playing almost 4 years now between those defensive backs and exciting to see those kids really come of age over the last couple games. And you mentioned Mashpee. Is that maybe the game where we lost in the fourth quarter there? Do you think that was wind? Did you think it was a conditioning kind of thing, or just?
I think it's just a few mistakes at the wrong time, and the game kind of got out of hand in that quarter. But hopefully when we get to the playoffs and face them again, they'll.
I like it. I know they'll come in a little overconfident, I believe.
Right.
But speaking of Nauset, or not Nauset, West Bridgewater, kind of one of those non-conference rival games that they look forward to. I read a little article in the Enterprise, and they were kind of looking forward to coming over and playing Nantucket. Last year they won 16-6. Again, one of those defensive battles. Is there someone specific that you're looking to key on or have an eye on?
Their overall program is solid. They have been for a long, long time. Their position players their skilled players are pretty good. They got a couple of wideouts that are pretty good. Number 11, number 5. The quarterback is very good. They run it's a wing T kind of power football. Their offensive line is pretty hefty, and the running back is really pretty good. Both backs. We have to focus on, stopping the middle of the field running and be very careful with the outside threats with 11 and 5. They tend to spread the ball around a little bit. The quarterback doesn't favorite. He kind of gets the ball around. And watching their game film, they're a very well-run team. The offense be smooth. They don't make a lot of mistakes, so we got to play mistake free. It can't be like last week with a bunch of blocking the backs and penalties could kill us in this game, because this is going to be a close game. It always is with West Bridgewater. So we're going to have to limit our mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, really, last year again, it came down to that fourth quarter. The overall the score was 16-6, but it was a
give and take game the whole time. And I agree with you. I think it's going to be one of those come down to the end and see who maybe has the ball last to come out with the victory. Overall,
that's to teach our defense. Our main goal is to get the ball back to Coach Saradellis in the offense. The offense is starting to click, right? Our main job, however we can. I want to get to know the West Bridgewater punter really. I want to see him a lot. That's the goal. Just get the ball, the offense, let Coach Saradellis and the offense do their thing. So hopefully,
sorry, go ahead.
Hopefully we can make that happen.
Absolutely. I'd say overall, it's been that bend but don't break defense, again, barring that fourth quarter against Mashpee. So again, congratulations on the beginning of a great season. Looking forward to another great performance from the defense and the team on Saturday, and appreciate the time. As always, Coach, again, it's just a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you. And thank you for everything you do for the program. You guys are great. Appreciate it.
It is absolutely our pleasure. And always good to chat with you again. Best of luck against the Wildcats. And speaking of the Wildcats, we do have head coach Justin Kogler from the West Bridgewater Wildcats lined up next on NCTV 18's Coach's Corner. And we would like to welcome Coach Justin Kogler of the West Bridgewater Wildcats to our NCTV 18 Coach's Corner. Coach, thanks very much for taking some time and chatting with us here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I did read in the Enterprise that your team's kind of looking forward to this game, sneaking over across the pond here and taking on our Whalers. Can you give us a little recap of how the season has gone in your eyes, some good things and some things maybe to improve upon this one?
Yeah, sure. First of all, the Nantucket West Bridgewater game's always been a good game, and they've had like a nice little rivalry over the years. And Nantucket's a great challenge for us, and they've gotten the better of us, much more, especially over the past decade than we have, So, like I said, we always are looking for that challenge, and I'm happy that they're as good as they are this year. Our season's been going pretty well. We started off with East Bridgewater, which was a tough team, and we didn't really play our best in that game, but we came on late and played well at the end of the game. And then we had a great game with Fairhaven in week 2, and we ended up winning in overtime. And that was one of the best high school games I've ever been a part of. And then last week we played Bourne, and we played well and ended up with a win. Yeah.
So a tale of 3 games, really. I mean, you guys had the crosstown rival, an overtime game, which is always super exciting, and then kind of an easier one against Bourne. Nantucket also coming off a big win. So both teams riding high. Should be a great game here on Saturday.
Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. And can you just give our viewers a little bit of coaching history in case they haven't followed you through your coaching career?
Sure. I started off at Old Colony for 2 years as an assistant in 2005, 2006. From there, I went over to Old Rochester from 2007 to 2011. At that point in time, I had the itch to become a head coach, and the head coaching job at my hometown of Fall River opened up, Bishop Conley High School, and I was there for 3 years. Ended up going back to Old Rochester as the head coach there. And then, teaching and living in Bridgewater. The West Bridgewater job is open, and applied and ended up getting that. And now this is my 3rd season here, and I love West Bridgewater and the program here. So I hope to be here for a while.
And you guys had a great run your first year, correct? Went to state camps.
Yeah, unfortunately, I wish when Nantucket had left our league that year, it would have been nice to play them that year. It would have been an interesting game because I know they were good and we were good that year, and that would have been a great challenge for us. But then, it was awesome to play them again last year, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Absolutely. Well, again, we appreciate the time. Any players that our viewers can keep an eye on your end of things? I know you got Nathan Raza coming back at quarterback and some key guys on the outside and skill positions.
Yeah, so we have Nathan at quarterback, and have Aiden Baker, who's having a good season at wide receiver, and Joey LeClaire, number 5. Aiden's number 11. And then we have Will DeLuca and DJ Amaya in the backfield. Will DeLuca's number 2, DJ's 23. And we got a couple veteran linemen too, John Hogrell and Jesse Ames, Matt Outerbridge, people like that. So, and we have a pretty solid team this year, but certainly going to be a big challenge this week against Nantucket.
Absolutely. And a different kind of challenge, just taking that boat over. Hopefully it's a smooth ride for you guys.
Yes, it is. Yep.
It's a special kind of home field advantage. I guess we got to take advantage of whatever we
It's
can.
great though. It's a very unique experience. You know, I've had the pleasure of doing it in the past as an assistant, and also did the Martha's Vineyard thing as well. And it's a unique experience. It's a long day, but it's a memorable day. And, you know, hopefully we come and play well.
Excellent. Well, best of luck to you on Saturday and through the remainder of your season. Again, thanks for taking the time here for our NCTV 18 Coaches Corner. Justin Kogler.
Thank you.
And we'd like to welcome you back to Vito Capizzo Stadium for NCTV 18's live coverage of Whalers football. Once again, I am with Dick Herman. My name is Chris Morris, and man, it's just a beautiful day for football.
Beautiful day, Young. We just heard the national anthem. Julie Marks, I heard the name, and Natalie, I didn't get her other name. They did a great job.
A lovely duet.
Lovely duet, and yeah, it's a great day for football, and it's a typical Nantucket football with the nice wind, as you said, coming out of the west. Every once in a while, that flag is out straight today, so it is going to cause some problems in the kicking and passing. More so in the kicking game.
Yeah.
Years in and years out, I say it's going to be tough passing today. I've never seen really affect passing game that much. Lots of teams won't pass as much as they
just don't
normally
pass
do.
as much, yeah. So it is West Bridgewater kicking from the left to right. It'll be Caden Shea back deep. Or is that Garner Ray? I apologize.
I think it's
Garner
Ray.
Ray. Along with Jaquan Francis.
Let's see, they have
So a new duo back there.
But
I know
see,
they wrinkled them in.
They wrinkled it in. Different wrinkle here. See if they can get West Bridgewater to kick it deep. I mean, kick it short to keep it away from the deep men. But I think the West Bridgewater coach knows it's number 1 and number 2 he's afraid
That's right.
of.
That's right. He knows those things.
Nothing against any other numbers
Nope.
out there.
They've got it going on. All right, Whalers fans, are you ready? Here is the kickoff. And it does go deep. And returned out to 25 to the 30. Ray to the 35. Nice return out to the 38. Where the Whalers will take over as their first possession of the game.
Well, West Bridgewater didn't take any effort on that kick to get it up in the air. You get it up in the air, you would have got a push. He kicked a line drive kick right to Ray. Ray returns an excellent field position here to start the Whalers offense.
And again, they will be going into the wind, and we have some wonderful cheerleaders right in front of us here, so we'll be talking nice and loud as Aguilar will control the offense in that pistol tee. 2 wide receivers down to the short side of the field. Handoff to Blois up the middle, breaking tackles, cutting around. He cuts across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. Nice gain on first down for the Whalers.
Yeah, 75 for West Bridgewater had him gobbled up, but somehow he slid out of it and winds up picking up 4 yards instead of no gain.
And our first quarter of play is brought to you by our good friends over at Mac Davis Flooring. For the highest quality flooring and highest quality service, it's Mac Davis Flooring.
Come on, boys, let's go!
2nd and 6 here for the Whalers.
Motion in front of Aguilar, hanging it off to Caden Shea. His first carry of the game is just for a couple. Nice to see him in the mix as well. He's had a couple of great runs in the last couple games, and he will add another wrinkle.
Yeah, it's nice to have the power guy in it. Caden's is more of a power guy than the other runners they use here, so it's a good wrinkle to keep in the offense.
Keep them honest. 3rd and 5 for the Whalers. 3 wide receivers here to the closest side of the field. Blois going in motion in front of Aguilar. He gets the handoff and will get the corner, and he's off to the 50, 45, 40. Tiptoeing down the sidelines almost.
Almost broke it. Almost broke it there.
First down run for the Whalers. Justin Blois.
That was a huge first down because Nantucket would have had a decision to make. Somebody did get their hand on Boyce in the backfield. If he's taken down in the backfield, Nantucket would have had a tough decision there to make. And he went out He went out at the 46, but it's still across midfield. Now you're in an area where you don't have to punt if you don't want to.
That's right, four-down territory
get to a
from now
4 down.
on. 1st and 10 for the Whalers. Caps with motion to the other side of the line. Again, it's going to be Bodden with the carry. He's got the corner. 45, 35, 30, 25. Great run by Mekhi Bodden. A little bit of a late hit there out of bounds, but they let him play on.
Close. I think they didn't call it because he had his hands on his shoulders as they were falling out of bounds.
Wasn't really a hard tackle either, but a great run for Bodden as he picks up another Whalers 1st down. A scamper for about 20.
Well, after 5 downs here, it looks like Nantucket certainly has the speed they need to beat a team like West Bridgewater. West Bridgewater is tough physical in the middle. I think they're going to be tough when they get the ball, running the ball. Nantucket can use their speed to get a quick score here. That would be huge.
Always great to start the game off with the lead. Aguilar splitting the huddle. Again, pistol T, Blois to his right. Shea with motion. It's going to be Aguilar to throw. His first pass, caught. Nice little tiptoe along the sidelines. Bodden, oh no, they call it incomplete, out of bounds.
They're going to say he was out of bounds before he pulled the reception. He might have had a bobble getting it in. So it goes as an incomplete pass. 9:27 to go, 0-0 here. This is the first possession of the game.
Whalers on the move. 2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line of West Bridgewater. A couple of big runs by Blois and Bodden, as Dick mentioned, catching the edge. Thus far, that has been the difference. Aguilar, once again, that pistol T. Blois to his left this time. And it'll be Blois maneuvering around. He gets the carry. Trying to get the edge, will not get there. Probably a gain of 2 or 3 on the play to about the 31, bringing up 3rd and long.
Be about 3rd and maybe 6. Let's see where they mark it. But now the ball is all the way across. All the way across the other side of the field, on the opposite hash mark this time. So they're going to have a lot of room to the left, and that seems to be the side Bodden runs, where Boyce will run to the right side deep. Let's see if Bodden comes back this way now with a lot of room out here.
It could be that little end around here as Bodden is split to the short side of the field. Coming in motion. And that's going to be illegal motion or a false start. Either way, a penalty against Nantucket.
22 players moved, but one thing didn't move. The ball. The ball didn't move. So Nantucket going to be pushed back now, making it 3rd and 11. But again,
4-down territory,
4-down
for
territory.
the Whalers.
So they have 2 downs here to pick up the 11.
Yep.
They did go to the pass earlier.
We'll see what they come up with here. Coach Tim Saradellis dialing up a play. He's got Bennett and Bodden here to the far side of the field. It's going to be Aguilar back to pass, facing some pressure, looking deep. Got a man. Intercepted. West Bridgewater returning across the 20. And that interception was right around the goal line.
Well, you know what happened on that play was?
Aiden Baker, senior defensive back, he will also stay on the field for wide receiver duties, picking off Aguilar's pass.
Bodden was open on that, and it looked like he was throwing to Bodden, but Bennett came over, and I think it was the guy covering Bennett that made the interception. I don't know if he was supposed to be there or he reacted to the ball when the ball was in the air.
Either way, the first turnover of the game goes against the Whalers. West Bridgewater taking over 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line, their own 24, trying the middle, and that play is stuffed up. I got a hunch we're going to call that quite a bit.
That's going to be a common play. They're going to use that an awful lot today, and Nantucket has to stop it. If they can pick up 4 or 5 yards on 1st down on that play, they'll keep running. They picked up close to the 4.
About 3 or 4 for Will DeLuca, his first carry of the game for West Bridgewater.
2nd and 7.
Nathan Raza behind center for West Bridgewater. He is also a senior, one of 11 seniors on Coach Kogler's team, and he is under center. The first time we've seen a team go under center here. And it's Raza handing off once again, blasting up the middle. DJ Amaya, he was one of the 5 running backs that scored. He actually found pay dirt twice last week against Bourne.
But again, West Bridgewater is doing what they want to do, picking up 4 or 5 are correct. They get 3 the first time, 4 that time. If they get their 4 this time, they've got a first down. So that's their offense right there. And
I think they want to shorten the game a little bit as well.
You said they didn't pass last week, but when they do pass, it surprises the heck out of you.
That's right.
It comes out of nowhere.
3rd and 4. Oh, nice
penetration,
hit, but it'll be close to a first down run.
I think it's a first down because he got knocked back.
Great blitz right up the middle, almost got the handoff, and it will be a first down.
So that's the West Bridgewater offense right there, Chris. Run, get 3 or 4. The only way you take them out of that offense is if you can stop them for no gain. Then they have to think something different. But they'll keep doing that if you don't stop them. If they can keep picking up 3 or 4, they'll do it.
Clock will wind, 6:50 to play here in the first quarter. Raza in that shotgun now. And he will hand off to Aiden Baker, who got the interception, and he is piled up after about a gain of, again, 3 or 4 on first down.
First time they sort of went a little bit to the outside there, but he was smart enough not to string it. If you string that further outside, he doesn't pick up the 3 yards that he got there.
And he's not quick enough to catch the edge. Baker is definitely one of those grind it out kind of guys.
So he turned it in and ground it out and got them the 3.
Raza again in the shotgun now. He's got 2 wide receivers to the short side of the field. Motion in front of him. That gets the handoff. And not getting the edge. Nantucket stuffs that one. J.J. Bennett along with a couple of others on the tackle. That's the first carry for number 5, Joey LeClaire.
Joey LeClaire, yeah. Mom and Dad are here watching. I had a chance to talk with them before the game.
This is what Nantucket's looking for, 3rd and about 6 or 7. A little bit longer. You almost have to throw here, but we'll see.
The play call there surprised me going again outside.
Yeah.
They are not going to have success. Strength. They're not going to have the quickness to do that.
Yeah. Baker split to the far side of the field, 2 wide receivers, but it is a double tight end formation. Quick pass, and Baker unable to gather it in, ran before he had the ball.
Yeah, if he catches that, it's going to be close. It's going to be close because
one-on-one tackle out there, and he's a big boy. So it will be a punt for West Bridgewater on its first possession. They will be punting with the wind. This could go in the end zone.
Yeah, he gets this up in the air. It's going to carry. The kickoff did not get up in the air.
Yeah, but that was a little bit more on purpose. We'll have to see. Again, Kogler is very aware of number 1 and number 2. High snap, good catch, and a shank of a kick. That's coming our way. Man, that barely made the first down. That will go out of bounds at the West Bridgewater 47. That's a way to keep it away from Boyce and Bond, but I got a hunch they wanted a little better.
If you're worried about them that much, why punt?
Just go for it.
You might as well go for it because
5:18.
that gets you nothing.
No, 5:18 to play here in the first quarter. Once again, thanks to our first quarter sponsor, Mac Davis Flooring. He's got 2 locations, one of them right here on Old South Road, and then if you're off island, in Osterville.
I've seen his location over there. There's a nice restaurant
Beautiful.
right across the street that I go to when I'm off island once in a while, and I was surprised the first time I saw all his trucks parked at the building.
Second offensive possession for the Whalers. And it'll be Boyce getting the edge. Cuts back, and he's still on his feet. Looked like he had room to the outside, but he cut back in.
Yeah.
Got to about the 41.
Trying to go against the grain there.
And he's got a problem with his helmet. Takes his hat off for a moment. Still picks up 5 on first down. It'll be 2nd and 5 for the Whalers. Maybe 6, call it. Great field position to start their second possession. See if they can take advantage of it against the wind here. 4:45 and counting in the first quarter. 0-0 our score. Just a second possession for the Whalers. No one in the backfield. Going to be motion in front. Bodden, double handoff to Shea, and he is gobbled up in the middle. That was a tricky play. Number 52, that is Jesse Ames, one of the standouts on defense for West Bridgewater, right in the middle.
That was so tricky that everybody stayed in the middle. If Boyce kept it, he might still be running. Oh, no, he would have made it to the end zone by now.
That's true. Yeah, we'd have been kicking the extra point.
Yeah, the handoff right in the middle, but they weren't fooled at all, waiting for him.
Lost a couple yards on the play, bringing up 3rd and about 7. We'll see what Coach Saradelis dials up here. He's got Blois in the backfield with Aguilar, 2 wide receivers, and motion in front. Rolling, throwing again, deep throw, got Bowden. Oh, once again, almost intercepted by Baker. He went up and made a nice play for it.
Well, there's the wind factor there. We didn't see it
Ball
so much
held
on
up,
the
yep.
interception, but on that one there, on a normal day without wind, that could be a reception and a touchdown, but the ball just died at the end,
Yeah.
and the defender was the closest to it as the ball come down as
Yep.
a wounded duck. Nantucket might punt this.
They are going to punt. Blois is back. Well, we'll see. They're lining up for a punt. We'll see if they got some trickery here.
This is a great time to do
Yeah.
a fake punt, yes.
3:45 to play in the first quarter.
If you have a fake punt
no
you want to
score.
try, here's a great time to try it.
And it is Blois going to kick it off the side of his foot as well, and that will take a West Bridgewater bounce and go out of bounds at the 23-yard line. They mark it, and West Bridgewater will take over from there
So that's
for
about
their
a
second possession.
That's about a 20-yard punt, but
Into the
West
wind.
Bridgewater only got about a 10-yard
They
punt.
barely got a first down on their punt.
Right, yeah. So probably less than 10, probably 8 or 9 yards on their punt. So back and back we go, still scoreless here in the first quarter. And we talked about the crowd before the game, before the national anthem. It's a little bit more now.
They're filtering in like a Lakers game here. A little bit late getting off the highway.
Is Magic over there?
He might be. He might be.
See if we can find Magic.
Raza in the shotgun. He'll hand it off again, trying the edge and getting there. Oh, nice tackle by Justin Blois, taking on the block, and LeClaire unable to catch the corner. Blois with a nice one-on-one tackle there.
Yeah, again, they are trying the outside. Their first series, they did the 3 in the middle, off tackle, and they pick up the first down. Then all of a sudden, they're going to the outside.
If only they knew like we knew. Raza, once again, under center. He's got 2 wide receivers split to the wide side of the field. He will hand off up the middle, just off tackle.
And there's your 4 or 5 yards right there.
Blasting ahead across the 30-yard line to the 31, just 31-yard line, call it.
It's going to make it 3rd and manageable here.
3rd and about 2 or 3 for West Bridgewater as we are approaching 2:30 to play and counting in the first quarter here. Man, that is a big boy, number 79, Matt Outerbridge, 6'2". They list him at 330. And they will try the right side again, and it will be enough for a first down, about 5 yards on the carry for West Bridgewater. Once again, that is Will DeLuca.
Maybe they did hear us.
I know, we've got to talk a little quieter.
I think they ought to go to the outside more.
Yeah, definitely. That's where they should go. Throw it. 1st and 10 at the 35.5-yard line. It'll be Baker split wide out. LeClaire closest to us. Raza under center. A little bit of a counter play and finding some room to run in the middle. Once again, that's Will DeLuca.
He might have picked up the first down all by himself there.
They do give him the nod for first down, so 10 yards on the carry for DeLuca.
Yeah, he busted a couple of tackles there.
There was a little bit of a counter block there,
He's a
and it worked.
he's a big boy, and it's harder to tackle a bigger guy in the middle like that there because he's not going that fast. As opposed to if he's trying to run outside, you can get underneath him and knock him
Catch
down.
an angle, yeah. Once again, Raza under center. I formation, right up the gut. And gathering the feet is Caden Shea in the middle there. That is DeLuca on the carry. Once again, nice play as Caden Shea read that play perfectly, just a gain of 1.
Shea made a good tackle there, getting to him before he breaks the line of scrimmage, and that's the key to hold them to nothing or just 1 on a first down carry. Huge for the Nantucket defense to put them in the 2nd and 9.
Yeah, as much as Casp and Bennett have created havoc in the backfield. It's going to be those linebackers filling those holes.
They may throw here. They're going to lose the wind in 40 seconds.
Raza.
Yeah, there it is.
Going deep. And
Oh.
no flags.
No
It was a
flag.
little bit of
A little bit of push on both sides here.
contact. We'll call it just a contact.
Yeah.
As Baker was shielded from the ball there by a moving Justin Blois. Nonetheless, incomplete. 3rd and 9 upcoming. As
they
Dick
will-
mentioned, just 32 seconds left in the quarter with the wind.
They'll throw again here with the wind.
Yeah.
Because if it's complete, they'll get the first down. If it's not complete, they can punt,
punt
with the wind. Because they're going to have the wind in
Why
their
we pay you
face.
the big bucks, buddy, for a comment like that, man.
Can you lend me $1 so I can buy a water?
3rd and 9. Raza in the shotgun once again. Oh, and that looks like offsides. They should let that play run, but jumping offsides.
This may change the play selection now.
Ian Williams
This
trying
may,
to time the snap, and he will come off and get a
Oh,
mouthful.
I'm talking to him. This
Now
may
it will be
change the
3rd
play
and 4.
selection now.
Absolutely.
Now they may go
It opens up the playbook for sure.
Go for it on 4th down here. They don't get it now. So
29 seconds left.
they don't have to throw it here. Let's see what they come up with.
Raza under center, I formation. A little bit of motion. And once again, the Whalers jump off sides, and that'll be a first down. Gotta watch the ball, gentlemen. Gotta watch the ball.
They must have changed their cadence. That's a trick that some teams do to perfection. You start off the game saying hut 1, hut 2, and then all of a sudden you come to a series like this and you go hut 1, hut 2, hut 2. You pick up the speed, and all of a sudden it picks up the defensive lineman jumping.
So 2 straight offsides penalties gives the West Bridgewater Wildcats first down in Whalers territory at the 43-yard line. And the clock will run out here as the final play of the first quarter will be Raza handing it off. And another nice run up ahead to about the Whaler 37-yard line goes DJ Amaya.
So we have played 1 quarter here at Vito Capizzo Stadium, 0-0, but West Bridgewater is on the move. They're going to be working 2nd and 5 to start the 2nd quarter with the ball on the 37.
And the second quarter of play is going to be presented by Champion Rentals of Nantucket, covering all your tool and power equipment needs right here on the island. Champion Rentals, proud sponsors of Whaler football. And as Dick said, 1 quarter of play in the books here, no score. Both teams have gotten into the other side of the field, but no real threats here yet. But West Bridgewater, if they can just keep plowing it ahead, if Nantucket can't control that, this could be a scoring drive for the Wildcats.
They're on the move right now, but now they're going to be going into the wind. Not that they passed a lot. They passed when they had the 3rd and 9 there. They threw one earlier too, but they show that they have an offense that can move the ball in the middle of the line, and 2 offsides in a row by the Whalers. That gave them the first down on the plate.
That'll put a couple of gray hairs on any coach, but 3rd and 4 with an offsides giving them a first down is just one of those inexcusable kind of penalties. And the last thing that any of the coaches want is a shoot yourself in the foot kind of moment like that. So 2nd down and 3, a long 3, call it, for the first play of the second quarter from the Whalers side of the field at the 43-yard line. And once again, the Whalers are offsides. That's 3 in this series.
Now this is becoming serious because this time it was the linebacker that was offside. So
another first down via the penalty for the Whalers. Or for West Bridgewater, I should say.
So now the coach is saying to the quarterback, don't call any play, just change the cadence back and forth. We don't need a play.
We'll just keep moving it, matriculate down the field 5 yards at a time via the penalty. So now 1st and 10 at the Whaler 31, West Bridgewater. In an I formation, split out Baker furthest away LeClaire, and it's going to be another handoff up the middle. And plowing ahead for about 4 or 5 is DJ Amaya. Another good gain on first down. They give him 4 on the carry.
Murphy on the stop for the Whalers.
Murphy made the stop. Going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Ball resting at the Whaler 28-yard line. By far the best drive for West Bridgewater.
Now the Nantucket defense has to be a little
Gotta-
gun shy
gotta-
because
yeah.
they're nervous. 3 offside penalties in the last 5 plays.
Which could give a distinct advantage with those linemen firing. Again, another handoff, trying off tackle, and it'll be another nice gain, very close to a first down.
Let's see where they mark it. I think it is a first down. If not, it's going to be very short. No, they're going to give them a first down.
DeLuca on the carry, and that will be a first down, 7 yards on the button.
So now they're knocking on the red zone here. Ball on about the 21-yard line. First down for the Wildcats.
And into the wind, this is already going to be 4-down territory, so it's going to have to take a stiff effort here for the Nantucket defense to hold West Bridgewater, and once
offside
again.
I would love to know what's going on down there. I mean, I'm guessing. It has to be that, but I'm only guessing. But have 4 offside penalties on one drive.
That is not good. 1st and 5 now from just outside the 15-yard line as the Whalers have jumped off sides once again, helping the West Bridgewater drive with 20 yards of penalties in this series. Split out wide is LeClaire. Motion behind Raza. And he will look to throw. No, a little option. And the Whalers snuff that one out. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2 as Amaya once again tried to cut it upfield. Nothing doing.
First time they used that play, I'm surprised they did that type of pitch. That leads to trouble lots of times if you don't work it. But
it was a quick pitch from Raza too. It looked like he could have held that for another second or two, but
real surprised that he did pitch it. I thought he would probably make more yards himself if he held on to it, but they were looking for the big yards. But again, he pitches it too soon, so you don't get the defender to get on you. You got to get the defender to get on you and take the hit.
Yeah. Raza with another inside handoff.
There was a big hole there.
Big hole there for DeLuca. And that should be another first down for West Bridgewater.
That might...
1st and goal.
1st and goal from about the
6 or 7 yard line for West Bridgewater as they are knocking on the door here for potentially the first score of the ball game.
Nantucket.
It has been a steady diet.
Yeah, Nantucket needs a turnover here now.
Yeah.
West Bridgewater 1st and goal to go.
Raza with DeLuca in the backfield. And it'll be DeLuca getting the carry. Inside the 5, plugging ahead, close to the goal line. Not quite there.
He picked up about 4 or 5. It's going to be 2nd and goal from about the 1, maybe 2.
1-ish. We'll see who Coach Kogler dials up for this one. 2nd and goal from we'll call it the 2.
I can't see anything more than
hand it off.
Power right in the middle of the line.
Yep.
They got 3 cracks out of here. 2nd and goal.
DeLuca in the backfield. And it is DeLuca with the carry, and he falls ahead for a Wildcat touchdown.
So we'll call that a 1-yard run, but not only does that get the points, takes a lot of time off the clock that Nantucket would have had with the wind. They lose almost half the period here. Well, not quite, but they lose a good 5 minutes of it with that drive. And it would have been more if they stayed on side. It would have delayed. Oh, they're kicking.
An extra point is up and good, so 7-0 the score here with 8:53 to play in the first half. West Bridgewater up 7-0 on your Whalers, and a nice conglomerate of West Bridgewater folks have made it over across the pond here. They got a nice crowd with a nice cowbell as well, so supporting their Wildcats, and of course the Whalers out in full force as they have spread across the entire side of the field here, far on the furthest side from us. Student section standing up as always.
I want to give a shout out to Joey LeClaire's mom and dad, who I met before the game, had a nice chat with them, and she sort of told me their schedule. They were on the 9:30 boat this morning, leaving West Bridgewater around 7:30 this morning.
Oh,
they get
yeah.
down there.
Bright and early.
They're going back on the 7 o'clock boat tonight. They had
There you go.
had a little to eat downtown before they came to the field and after the game, and it's a long day. You put it
is
together,
indeed.
it's about a 16-hour for a high school football game. Who would have thought?
You know, it's a commitment. And speaking of commitments, our student section is now in the Hawaiian gear today.
Hawaiian gear.
Yeah, all the Hawaiian
Boy.
gear is out there, so they're celebrating.
Gee.
And hopefully the Whalers can get back on the scoring trend here and tie this game up, maybe take the lead with a 2-point conversion.
Can I go home and get my shirt and
Another
join
squibber
them?
kick. And it's going to be Cass just falling down on it at about the 31-yard line. Got to think a guy like him plays tight end could have probably advanced it for a few yards.
You took the words right
But
out of my mouth.
it's the safe play.
You probably coached that way.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
a safe
if the
play for
ball
an up
comes to
man.
you- Most of the time when the ball comes to you, it's by accident.
Yeah.
But it's going to be on purpose. They got to get used to that. It's going to
Yeah.
be on purpose the rest of the year.
As dangerous as Baden and Blois are, you got to think maybe a wrinkle could be a little pitch to them.
How about splitting it up? Keep them
Yeah.
one deep, one
Yeah.
low, and then work the pitch in. So you have one close by for the pitch, right? All
Well,
right,
the Whalers have
Nantucket's
got
down
some
by
work to do
7.
here. Aguilar. And a penalty flag thrown. Coach Kogler was out on the field and upset about a couple of things, trying to call timeout perhaps, but we'll
don't
see
know.
what the penalty is.
Wildcats take a timeout.
I'm not sure if he pulled that for a penalty or he pulled that just to
Or
call
for a
for
timeout.
the timeout to try to get someone's attention.
Yeah.
We'll find out in a minute here.
Either way, 8:41 to play.
If he does get a penalty, he's really going to be upset.
And they did, just as Dick mentioned, just a timeout for West Bridgewater. The flag
He was looking
signaling.
he was looking for anything to get the signal in
Yeah.
there. But interesting to call the timeout just before the snap there. They must have saw something in the Nantucket offense that they didn't like. It probably included a long pass to somebody.
Yeah, could have had 10 guys on the field as well. That is another option. But either way, Coach Kohler was emphatic about getting a timeout. And he was awarded such the first timeout called for either team. Oh, no, they are calling a penalty here.
Now they are calling it.
They are marching it ahead, so that must be an unsportsmanlike conduct call on Coach Kogler.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see the referee signal that. It looked like he was signaling.
Well, he gave the
A timeout, but he
gave
did.
the timeout too.
But that is a 15-yard penalty, bringing the ball all the way out to the 47-yard line. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll take it. That makes up for 3 of those offside penalties.
That's right. Oh, Baden fumbled. Snap hit Baden in the backfield. He was aware enough to turn around and jump on it. A loss of about 2.
Biden on the recovery of the fumble.
That'll bring up 2nd and 12. 8:23 and counting in
Nantucket
the first
very
half.
fortunate to get
Yeah.
a hold of that, because you don't want to give West Bridgewater the ball right back here on their side of the field that quick. One play. So
2nd and 12. Let's see what the Whalers can do here. We got 3 weapons coming our way with Blois, Bennett,
look for the
and
long.
Baden in the middle of it. Aguilar back to pass. Setting up a screen, and that is caught. And off to the races, 40, 35, 30. Caden Shea to the 20. Cuts inside, still on his feet, inside the 10. Fantastic play by the Whalers.
Excellent call there by Nantucket.
The decoys here to our side. Caden Shea
Yeah,
gets
West
the
Bridgewater
big
knew
gainer.
the pass was coming, but they thought it was coming to the right side of the field. Everybody stayed home with Shea. Shea had a convoy there and almost took it in, but Nantucket now has their chance here. Goal, 1st and goal from about the 7.
Whalers stole the goal from the 8-yard line.
Excellent
A
call.
50-yard play. Aguilar with the screen pass to Caden Shea. It's going to be Blois up the middle, and he is met and driven back. On the 1st and goal play from the 8-yard line.
Yeah, he's met right at the line of scrimmage, pushed back,
Yeah,
so he'll
they-
get the line of scrimmage back.
Give him maybe 1, but basically nothing doing there for Blois. Again, the up the middle runs, I get it, but the strength is to the outside. Get those boys in some space.
Yeah, you get the ball way over to the left hash mark. Let's see a sweep to the right here. A little pinball action we need.
Aguilar gets the snap, hands off, Blois up the middle again, trying to weave his way, but only gets to about the 5-yard line, so that brings up third down, obviously. 4-down territory for the Whalers as they look to tie it up here, down 7-0, 6:53 and counting in the first half. Time not
Now
a problem yet.
If you don't make anything on this here,
then it gets interesting. It gets interesting.
Do you start thinking field goal?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they do have a very good kicker in Justin Blois, but hate to spoil
You want to get into the end zone.
an opportunity here.
You want to get into the end
Deep
zone.
in West Bridgewater territory. Aguilar with Blois split out to his right, facing pressure. Aguilar breaks a tackle and throws it into the end zone over the head of Cass, but good to get it away there. That saves a bunch of yards. Nice play by Aguilar to break the tackle and throw it over the head of Cass. 6:16 to play.
If he got sacked, they would have had to go for the field goal. I'm not
there's
so
no
sure they
question
might
here.
not be going for the field goal now because I see Aguilar going off the field. Again, a perfect time to try a
They fake, yeah,
field goal.
at the 5-yard line, and it will be
Kick is
Blois attempting a
Coming.
field goal from about 22 yards away with the wind. Distance not a problem. Let's see if he can split the uprights. Kick is up. And no good,
No.
wide to the right. Unfortunately, Justin Blois misses the field goal. Plenty of leg, but pushed it out to the right side.
Yeah,
so
he had it on the left hash mark, so he knew he had to come back right, but he came back too far right, put it wide right. So now,
so no points off of that great drive from the 60-yard play.
Oh, what was it? 50 yards by Shea.
Yeah.
Wasted in that drive. Yeah.
So a disappointing outcome from that drive despite the big play, and now the ball automatically coming out to the 20-yard line where West Bridgewater will take over with 6:10 to play here in the second quarter, already up 7-0.
Why did it come out to the 20?
I don't know. A high school must be a high school
Must
rule.
be a high school rule. Yeah. It should have went back to where it was. He wasn't set up on the 20 because we were calling it what, a 22, 23 yard.
22-yarder. So
This
it's
would
set
be
up
a-
at the 12 as
This
far
would be a
as.
30. This would be a 30 where they placed the ball.
Yeah.
Interesting of
So
the
once
placement.
again, I formation behind Raza. And he will hand off to the up man. Not much doing there, but give him the 22, maybe 23-yard line.
Well, West Bridgewater is just thinking 5.5 minutes to
Content.
go here in the half. If we can run the ball and get 4 first downs, it'll be halftime. They'll be very happy with that.
Again, I think Coach Kogler shortening the game, knowing that the big play potential, as evident by Caden Shea's big screen pass.
Gee, I won't be late for
You
happy
won't be
hour.
late for anything, buddy. Approaching 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Again, a handoff up the middle, weaving his way. Number 22.
Right on the stop of the Whalers.
First run by number 22, Devin Hensley for West Bridgewater.
Yeah, they have different weapons, as you said. What, 5 different guys scored last
5
week
different
in
running
that big
backs.
running game over Bourne? I'd like to go back to the previous game when they came back from a 21-7
Yeah.
deficit against Fairhaven to win that one in overtime.
A tested team for sure. Split backs behind Raza, and he will give it again to the up man. Whalers up to the challenge, and let's
He might
see
not
if they,
make it, but I think they'll go for it if he didn't.
They gave him the
They
first
gave it to
down,
him.
no need.
I don't think they would have kicked the ball
Yeah.
if they didn't get it. But you know, we know Nantucket can score and score in bunches in a hurry. They just got to get their hands on the ball, whether it's by a fumble recovery, an interception, or a turnover, or on downs. They can still get points on the board this first half.
4:15 and counting, 1st and 10 for West Bridgewater at the 31.5-yard line. And it is another nope, it is Raza keeping it, and he'll get across to about the 35, maybe the 36. on the little keeper.
Yeah, that was a nice play to run to the outside because that was the last person that the defense thought would have the ball on the outside as the quarterback.
Keeps the Whalers lineman honest.
And he picks up about 6. They'll take that. 2nd and 4 now, or maybe 5. But all their options are here now.
Yeah.
And the clock now is almost at 3.5 minutes. So 2 more first downs, and they're going to end the first half.
2 wide receivers to the far side of the field, but it's Raza with split backs. And he gives it straight ahead,
First
plowing
down.
ahead for another first down.
Right in front of us. That's an easy one to call. I wish I'd play the whole game right here. Just
Yeah, really. Make our life easier. Will DeLuca once again on the carry. He has been the workhorse thus far. And the first down cowbell ringing again for the Wildcats. 41-yard line.
Under 3
First
minutes
and
when
10
this play
for West
goes off.
Bridgewater. I formation. Oh, and another offsides. Ian Williams once again jumping off for the Whalers. One of 2 linemen jumping offsides.
In that case, they did a long count. They did a long count, and he just got too impatient out there, and he moved. And
Clock stopping now with 2:51 to play. 7-0 our score. West Bridgewater taking advantage of 4 penalties and finally plugged it in from 1 yard out to take the lead.
But that's going to give the coaches a lot to talk about at halftime. These
5 offsides penalties already for the Whalers. Raza with a quick pass. LeClaire trying to break a tackle. He will not do so. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
What was dangerous about that? That was a backwards pass.
That was
That's a
backwards.
live ball.
And
if
only
he doesn't
because we
catch
can
it.
see it right here in front of us.
We can see it right in front of us, yeah. And
Justin Zadroga on the tackle. Good
So he
open
was-
field tackle. They gave him 1, bringing up 2nd and 4. Clock continues under 2 minutes now. Quick moving first half, 7-0 our score here from Vito Capizzo Stadium. West Bridgewater finding pay dirt. They're looking to add to their lead. I formation. And that will finally be a motion penalty on West Bridgewater.
West Bridgewater got nervous, saying, "Nobody jumped. Should I move?"
Should I move? So that'll push them back push them back 5 yards to 2nd down and 9.
Well, now Nantucket, depending on how much yards they get in this play, and Nantucket may decide to use a
Might
couple
take
of
a
their
timeout.
timeouts.
Yep.
To the Wildcats.
Try and get something with the wind here. But first things first, we got to stop West Bridgewater as they continue to pound the ball up the middle.
Yeah, without any timeouts, this half is going to end on this possession.
Raza, another
Oh my
handoff. And
God.
there is someone breaking free almost.
Touchdown tackle there by 24. Justin Zarago.
Zadrago with the
Zadrago.
tackle.
You get a ball carrier.
But man, that was a burst of speed from Will DeLuca as he found himself a hole and blasted through it. And it will be Kogler and West Bridgewater taking a timeout here. They're second with 1:19 to play.
So now they want to use the ball. They don't want to run it out here now. They
Smelling
hoping-
maybe an opportunity to score here.
hoping to get the. We saw them kick the extra point. I don't know how close they'd have to get going into the win for a field goal, but they're not content now and just letting the 119 tick off. They're content with running 4 more plays here.
And once again, we got to thank our second quarter sponsor, our good friends over at Champion Rentals, proud sponsors and supporters of Whaler football. That is Champion Rentals for all your tool and equipment needs right here on the island.
Well, a couple of people that have something to do with Champion Rentals. Brian Gawacki.
That's true.
He was a good football player.
Funny
And,
guy as well.
You know, I had Brian in the 7th grade, and he made a liar of me. Because I said to Brian many times, "Brian, you're not funny." He's making me eat my words.
That's true. Traveling across the whole country, making you eat your words. Another handoff trying the left side is Baker.
And I
And
think
Zadroga once again in on the tackle.
And I think running the business over there for Brian is Henry Wazurski. Henry played some football here for the Wheels. And one of the other sponsors you mentioned early, Mac Davis.
Yeah.
Mac Davis
Former player.
caught a big touchdown pass in a game over on the Vineyard. I'll never
There
forget
you go.
that. Mackie had his day to shine in an Island Cup game.
Awesome. We're waiting for that coming up October 30th, a 41st annual Island Cup. And it'll be Raza once again handing it off, falling ahead to about the 38-yard line is DeLuca. And looks like maybe that timeout was all for naught, as it looks like West Bridgewater content on running it out here. The clock still continues to run 20 seconds. They
Yeah.
might get one more play off here before we hit halftime. 7-0 the score. West Bridgewater holding the lead. And
One final play, they
may
may
not
throw it.
even
They
run a
may
play
throw
here.
it down the field.
And it will be Raza keeping it. And he gets hammered to finish it off. But that will do it for the first half of play. 7-0 the score here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. A first half dominated by the West Bridgewater offensive line, as they have pretty much moved the ball at will and kind of just ran out of time here at the end of the second quarter. But
This
we'll have to make some adjustments.
this drive had some momentum, yes, if they had some more time, but they need a lot of time. They need a lot of time with their type of offense. And
So we have reached halftime here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. Once again, the score 7-0. Chris Morris alongside Dick Herman. And we have... Thanks for joining us here on NCTV 18. Once again, my name is Chris Morris, Dick Herman here, and we've seen an interesting tale of two quarters. Obviously, the Whalers have got to do some work on the defensive line, as you know, the Wildcats have pretty much run up and down the field on them here in the second quarter.
not only are they running on them, they're getting the defense back on their heels. What do we have? 5 offside penalties on the defense. That's
4 in one series.
One,
that
and
led to the
that's
touchdown.
much too much, and that has to be driving the coaches crazy. That's the one thing they're going to be talking about at halftime.
I
What
know
is going on?
You and I have got some gray hairs, but there's a couple extra ones there on the field for sure, with 5 penalties on the defensive line. They did have one big play for Nantucket. Caden Shea taking a screen pass and rumbling 50 yards that set up what could have been a potential game-tying score, but the Whalers unable to take advantage, and Blois missing that field goal in the second quarter with the wind.
That just goes to show you, making a tackle any part of the field. He should have taken that one in, but the kid made a great tackle and
Saved the score.
Saved the score.
Maybe save the game. We'll have to see how it plays out here in the second half. Obviously, things will be adjusted on both ends, but you got to think that just cleaning up the penalties on the defensive side of things will help.
That's a big concern here now. Whatever they're doing with the cadence, and they have to be doing something, they must be changing it. But I mean, you play football, some of these kids 4 years.
Yeah.
You gotta realize that the cadence is going to be different in each situation.
Absolutely. Well, Dick, once again, we have a special segment on our NCTV 18 halftime show. It's NCTV's newest original program, Nantucket Life, a half-hour magazine-style series that celebrates the uniqueness of Nantucket, its people, through a broad view of the island's environment, history, and culture. Every episode features a variety of short segments that each highlight a different aspect of life right here on Nantucket. And today we have the opportunity of sharing one of these segments. So let's join Tuckernuck Land Trust Coastal Steward, Skylar Cardell. Birds along our island's shores, and discusses how he became a featured photographer in National Geographic. Enjoy.
I am Skylar Cardell. I was born and raised on Nantucket. This is going to be my second season as coastal steward for the Tuckernuck Land Trust. My position is kind of a jack of all trades type position. Primarily it's monitoring the shorebirds that are both nesting and migrating through Tuckernuck. And am overall just kind of a resource for anyone on the island hoping to learn a little more about natural history or the birds that are around them. There's been over 400 species in the entire history of Nantucket ornithology that have been recorded here. So there are countless opportunities to see and discover new species for yourself. And of course there is that competitive aspect that I personally really enjoy. And I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but when you wake up at 3 a.m. For a birdathon and you try for 24 hours to see as many birds as you can, you will get a sense of adrenaline that is unparalleled by anything else. On the day I found that bird, I had to send it around to like 6 different people before I actually got a conclusive ID on it as being a gray heron. And by that time, it was already nightfall and the bird had flew the coop, so to speak. But then the next day, we went out to Muskeget. This was September 6th, and it was me and Tucker Taylor. So we came out with the intent to photograph it to the best of our ability and to really get solid documentation. And we got our bird. It was basically the first bird we saw as we landed on Muskeget. It was there waiting for us. It's one of the most surreal experiences of my life, just like coming ashore on Muskeget and having that be the bird right on the shore. Yeah, we came in that day knowing what we were gonna find, and we were really lucky that we were able to re-find it on Muskeget. Of all places, it could have flown all the way down to Cape May by that time, but instead it just went to the next island over, so.
And we welcome you back to live coverage of Whalers football. We are at halftime here at Vito Capizzo Stadium on NCTV 18. That was a wonderful episode from our newest show called Nantucket Life. The full first episode of Nantucket Life is now available to watch on YouTube and local channel 18. If you're interested in sponsoring in support of future episodes of Nantucket Life, please email NCTV 18's general manager, Rachel Larson Devine, at Rachel, that's RACEHEL, at nctv18.org, or jump on the website, nctv18.org, for more information. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, you can find this information in the description. And we've got, about 7 minutes before we kick it off here in the second half. The boys are up top there at the hill, and West Bridgewater gathering towards the end zone and discussing their halftime adjustments. We forgot to mention that Aguilar actually had an interception as well as the Whalers were driving on their first possession. They threw one up against the wind there, and Aiden Baker was able to corral it for West Bridgewater. So really, if they clean up some mistakes, Nantucket should have the lead here.
The mistakes have hurt them, right? But they have to be concerned that West Bridgewater has the lead, has a lot of power, has DeLuca, and that's the type of game they're going to play. And if they throw a pass, it usually fools you. They had to throw one pass, but you watch out for the sign of the pass coming from nowhere.
catching them off guard for sure. Again, I think unfortunately we've seen a lot of Justin Boyce, but up the middle. We haven't seen him catching the edge or getting those plays that give him some space. We got that first drive, had a couple of those plays, but we haven't seen those again. I got to think that's in Coach Offensive Coordinator's Tim Saradelis' playbook and will be utilized here in the second half. The Whalers will be kicking off to begin the second half, so they'll have to stop that middle rush right away.
It's going to be interesting to see who gets the win. It's going to be West Bridgewater's choice, because Nantucket will West will be Nantucket's choice, because West Bridgewater will be receiving, so they'll take the ball. So then Nantucket can decide to kick with the wind and take the wind in the third quarter, or kick against the wind and take the wind in the fourth quarter.
That's why they get paid the big bucks, the coaches, for those types of decisions right off the bat. But it is a strategy. Would you rather have it right away, or would you rather have it in the fourth quarter? You know, that's a toss-up.
There's two ways to look at it, really. There's two ways to look at it, and I've seen teams do it both ways. I've seen teams take the win in the third quarter and score 3 touchdowns. And I've seen teams wait for the fourth quarter, get the win, and then use the win to pull the game out at the end. So there's no one right way to do it.
Yeah, no book on that one. It is a gut feeling almost, as you see where and what part of your team is working. Again, I think both coaches knew that this was going to be the game at hand. 7-0 our score, so a 1-score game, basically anybody's game at this point. And it has played up to that. Again, Nantucket's going to have to open up the playbook a little bit to try and get their weapons involved. And I think West Bridgewater's just going to have to stay the course, just make Nantucket stop them with their runs up the middle.
West Bridgewater's doing what they want to do.
Array of running backs.
Nantucket's got to get to the outside, as you said, and use their speed. Their speed is what's going to win this game if they're going to pull it out.
And once again, the wind is for sure a factor, as we had noted about where and who is going to kick into the wind here to begin the third quarter of play. And it has not slowed down. I mean, you said it might even get a little stronger as the afternoon has.
Well, West Bridgewater was on the boat today, so
That's true.
They found out.
They're a witness.
They found out about the wind very early in the day.
They were definitely witness to it, and it has played out as such.
They might be nervous about going back on the boat at 7, but right now they want to win this football game and keep their lead.
Well, it will be a longer ride home if Nantucket can rally and pull out a victory here. They are down 7-0 as we await the third quarter here. The wind wasn't really a factor for Justin's kick. He just pushed it out to the right side of the goalpost, plenty of leg, but the field goal attempt that the Whalers tried here in the second quarter was also no good. So an interception, a missed field goal, and a turnover, but they're only down 7-0.
Only down seven. But again,
that's the spin on it.
West Bridgewater is making the game short. It's the quickest moving game. This is our third one this year, and it's the quickest moving one. Each one gets a little bit quicker.
Yeah, it's again a war of attrition here that Coach Kogler is trying to do with making the game shorter as far as time, keeping that time of possession, and also wearing out the Whalers, who of course have a lot of kids just like West Bridgewater that go both ways, that play both offense and defense. And Boyce doesn't mind getting hits on the offensive side of things, but when you got to come up and tackle a guy, it's a little different scenario.
All right, so we're two minutes plus away from the start here of the second half, and it's going to be a good one.
Whalers taking their semi-lap here, doing a couple of hops, and you'll notice that Coach Keith Hirschman really runs a tight ship for the pregame and before the second half, man. He gets those guys going.
He's a drill sergeant.
Yeah.
We got to check into his background.
Absolutely. It almost looks military-esque for sure, the way he runs it. And I will say that we have a special guest up, and I can see him across the field there taking care of the scorebooks. Our former athletic director, Chris Morey, up in the booth there. And he is taking care of the scoring. You think he could put a little something up for us here, you know?
He probably misses it a little bit. He
Yep,
misses the
yep.
Saturday afternoon thing.
Well, we were going to have him up here for halftime, which is why you and I are talking a little more, but he's got another job today.
He's got another job today.
Travis called him, our current athletic director, Travis Lombardi. He's doing a great job, I might add. Filling big shoes.
Is that part of Travis's job description? You got to call the
of
old
course.
AD.
Call whoever can do it.
Call the old AD in.
I'm surprised he didn't call one of you and I.
Give him cash under the table.
Well, I don't know. You know,
cash on the barrelhead.
That's a question for somebody else for sure. But I'll tell you, I ran into Meryl, his daughter as well, Mary Mason, and coming out of the Stop and Shop. And she said that he does miss it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's hard.
It's impossible not to enjoy it with passion like he did for so long and just have it go away. That doesn't happen. And he's still the coach of the softball team as well.
So
he gets a little taste.
Got a little taste, yeah.
But again, a huge gratitude and thanks from all of us here at NCTV 18 and, of course, the entire community for all of his services as athletic director for many, many years. And I know Travis is taking the helm in good hands, and of course Matt, who now does double duty as the assistant AD and also our trainer. Doing a great job.
Both those guys are doing a tremendous job. Hats off to the youth.
The youth taking over, that's for sure. Although Travis has got a couple grades just like I do, so I don't know how young he is.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you have kids who are growing
That's
into
right,
teenagers.
yeah, absolutely.
You got just a young one here.
That's right.
Wait till your young one starts becoming a teenager. You talk about the gray hairs.
So West Bridgewater
is ready to roll here.
They are going to receive the kickoff.
So Nantucket's going to take the wind in the fourth quarter. So we'll see how that plays out.
Kicking off from our right to left. Deep men, not so deep actually, around the 15-yard line, and I don't know if it's going to make it that far, although Justin Blois does have a good leg. Once again, Whalers down 7-0 here as we begin the third quarter, as the Whalers get set to kick it off here to West Bridgewater for our first possession of the second half.
Well, Justin's got everything but a football. I think we need a football if we're going to kick off. Here comes the football.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help.
He took the tee out there, but no football out there.
Well, let's see if the Whalers can stay on side here to begin things.
Talk about gray hairs. When you go offside on a kickoff, you promote a lot of gray hairs.
That's true. That is true. All right, Blois is ready to go. Whalers fans, are you ready for the second half of action?
Come on, Whalers.
And a good kick, end over end. Gathered in at the 10, across to the 20, 25, and gobbled up right there as West Bridgewater will take over at the 25-yard line for the first possession of the third quarter. And the third quarter of action is brought to us by two incredible businesses, William Ravis Real Estate, for all your real estate needs on Nantucket, and our good friends over at Dune Restaurant and Bar, Michael Getter and his gang, always putting out great food, open year-round and nightly. So thanks very much to our co-sponsors of the third quarter of action.
Okay, big series here for the Nantucket defense. They want to get this ball away from West Bridgewater.
And Raza has to eat it. Looked like a handoff was disrupted in the backfield, and that will be a loss. A good start for the Whalers on defense.
I think that's the first negative play, especially on first down all day. And this is what Nantucket can do to win this game, make it 2nd and 12. That shortens the play selection.
Absolutely. Looked like it was another one of those counter blocks and a missed assignment, and Nantucket was able to disrupt it, the handoff, and gobble up Raza for a 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12, as Dick noted. And two wide receivers split to the far side of the field. Single setback now for West Bridgewater, and still a handoff up the middle, and sprints ahead for about 4 or 5.
But it's still going to bring up 3rd and long, 3rd and about 8.
Once again, DeLuca on the carry. We'll see what happens here. Might be one of those passing downs.
Yeah, they got to throw it here now because it's not 4-down territory. They're going to punt it if they can't pick up the 8.
Ball resting on the 26-yard line of West Bridgewater. 2 wide receivers to the short side of the field. Raza joined in the backfield by LeClaire. And he will drop back to pass. Looking over the middle, tipped and still caught by Baker. Oh, great job by J.J. Bennett getting his hands up, but somehow it got through to Baker, and he picks up a West Bridgewater first down.
Perfect angle we had on that. The ball was tipped, but it didn't alter it. It just rotated it, and it went in the same direction. Something rare on a tip that it goes in the same direction. And
he got both hands up. It kind of went in between both hands and straightened out a little bit. 10-10 to play here in the third quarter. First drive, West Bridgewater gaining a first down after the Whalers had them bottled up. On 3rd and 9, a short handoff ahead for about 3 yards. Goes number 23, DJ Amaya on the carry for West Bridgewater, bringing up 2nd and 7.
I think Manuel Amonte got hurt.
Amonte in on the tackle on that one.
Yeah, he's holding his wrist over there.
Yeah. Baker splitting out far side of the field. LeClaire, short side of the field. Eyes setbacks. Almost offsides again, and it's Raza going to keep it, and he is gobbled up by a slew of Whalers. J.J. Bennett in on that one. Number 75, Sawyer Colby, filling the hole, and that brings up 3rd and still about 5 yards. Closer to that 4-down territory, though, out across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
Depending on how much yards they make on this here, it's going to promote a decision. I would think they would have to make about 4 or 5 to think about it.
Yep. Baker comes to the short side of the field closest to us. Raza in the shotgun. He has Raza under center, excuse me, and motion in front. And it'll be a pitch out. And that looked like a block in the back, but no call, and it is a good gain for DJ Amaya as he actually found the corner.
First time West Bridgewater's turned the corner today on an outside play. They haven't run many of them, but the first time they've done it.
Good run into Whalers territory. They mark the ball out at the 47-yard line. 1st and 10, West Bridgewater. 8:39 to go here in the third quarter. 7-0 our score. West Bridgewater pounding it in the first quarter. 1-yard dive by Will DeLuca. Once again, I formation. And it'll be the Whalers trying to stop DJ Amaya, who just got the corner run there for the first down. He picks up 3 yards, call it.
Bring up 2nd and 7.
Raza sprinting in with the play from Kogler.
He pretty much comes home to the coach each play to check on what they want to run.
LeClaire comes closest to us here on the booth. Baker to the far side of the field. I formation. Raza takes the snap. Hand up to the up man, and nothing doing on that play. Nice play by the Whalers interior. Caden Shea in on it, along with Ian Williams. Bringing up 3rd and long. Let's see if the Whalers can hold here. Again, this is closer to 4-down territory. This could be another run. Picking up maybe half of it, and then they would go for it on 4th down.
I think they will go for it this time if they can get a chunk of it.
44-yard line of Nantucket is where West Bridgewater will take their 3rd down snap here. 3rd and call it 7. 7:20 and counting in the third quarter. And it is a handoff. And not much doing, but plugging ahead to about the 40-yard line, giving the 39-yard line. So 4th and about 3.
Decision time. I think they're going to go for it.
Got to go for it here.
Brings up 4th down.
Let's see if the Whalers can come up with a big play here and get the Wildcats off the field here.
4th and 2.
4th and a long 2. 6:46 and counting in the third quarter. Once again, shortening that game as West Bridgewater has matriculated into Nantucket territory. Motion, Raza gathers the snap, going to pitch it out. And able to trip him up, and we'll have to see where they spot the ball. Looks like a good spot, favorable spot for West Bridgewater, but it is right on the marker.
Conneray, nice tackle there. It looked like he had a lot more to run.
He did have a lot more to run, but
they might have to measure this.
Looks like timeout as the sticks will come across the field to measure it. Very close to a first down on 4th down.
Well, this is going to be a huge tackle if it's not
if
the
the
first
Whalers
down,
were able to hold.
Conneray shot across and just threw his hand out, caught the runner by the heel, and brought him down.
Amaya tried to keep his feet, but just enough to trip him up. And let's see where this change comes out, and it is first down for West Bridgewater.
Well, not only is that a first down, it gives a lot of momentum to West Bridgewater because everybody stopped and looked, and once it was marked the first down, excitement for the team and the fans.
1st and 10 for West Bridgewater at the Nantucket 37.
So now you are in 4-down territory, and we know they got a kicker. A field goal here, if they get down in that area, makes it a 2-score game. But right now, Nantucket's looking for a turnover.
Anything, to stop the momentum here that West Bridgewater has taken the opening kickoff in the 3rd quarter and worked their way all the way down to the 37-yard line. Again, another handoff up the middle. DeLuca falls ahead for about 4.
Nice tackle there by Sawyer Colby.
Maybe 3 yards. Bringing up 2nd and 7. 5:50 to play now with a quickly moving quarter here.
Yeah, they
7-0 our score.
They shot in the game for sure.
Yep. 2 wideouts, Baker and LeClaire, but I got a hunch it's going to be one of the 2 guys in the backfield here getting the handoff. Raza, fumble! Oh! Right to the Wildcats. Amaya, another lucky break.
Boy.
My goodness, looked like he was almost going to go back to pass there off the option, but fumbled the ball.
Bennett whacked him, got the ball out, but again, it just bounced right up into the hands of the runner. I mean, you can't draw these plays up any better, even if you're playing in the backyard.
3rd and 6 now, but again, 4-down territory for West Bridgewater. Nantucket's going to have to come up with a big play here. And again, fumble, ball is loose. That should be Nantucket's ball out of blue jerseys, and it is. There you go.
34. George
Boucher, a senior defensive lineman, able to come up with the ball. And with 4:49 to play, the Whalers stop West Bridgewater on the fumble. That 2 straight plays with fumbles.
Yeah, that was a bad play there by West Bridgewater. That play, the quarterback was trying to make the handoff without having possession of it. And that ball went on the ground, and their luck finally ran out. They were getting all the right bounces earlier. Nantucket took that one.
28-yard line is where the Whalers will take over. And again, Blois looking to get outside. He does. 30, 35, 40. Look out! He is gone! Nothing but daylight in front of Justin Blois. It's going to be a Whalers touchdown!
71 yards. Justin, 71 yards.
Wow!
Now do you go for 2 or 1? Big choice coming up. Do you take the lead or do you go for the tie?
Again, we don't get paid enough to make those decisions. I think you go for the tie here at home with Justin Blois, obviously a great leg and plenty of time left. 4:33 only.
Nantucket might take a timeout.
Yeah, let him catch his breath.
Oh, we have an injured player over here too.
Yes, an injured West Bridgewater player that will be tended to here. But wow, lightning strikes here, and we've got one of our youngest Whaler cheerleaders out in front of my booth here. It's my lovely daughter, Theodora. She's got the most adorable little Nantucket cheerleading outfit.
So an official timeout here as Chris will check in with his family.
Yeah.
And say hello to.
Well, you know, they're right in front of us here.
And
you can't cheer too loud, though. It scares the baby.
So this gives a lot of time to think about what they want to do over there. And
it looks like they are lining up to kick.
They're lining up to kick. Let's see if they change their mind.
Yeah. But an incredible run by Justin Blois, taking advantage of the fumble. One play later, they score to just completely change the momentum of this game.
A one-play, 71-yard drive.
Yep. It only takes one, and Coach Kogler knows it all too well. You just can't let those guys get open in that open space, and they took advantage as Blois bounced it outside after what looked like basically a harmless play, and poof, found himself magically into the end zone.
All right, so Justin's lining up for the kick, 4:33 to go, looking for the tie here.
And that's a significant injury. That is Amaya, who has been a very effective runner. Blois with the extra point, and that's going to be no good once again.
Into the
Punched
wind.
it out to the right.
Into the wind. That time the wind did push it.
Yep.
And
so 7-6 is the score.
So Nantucket's having a lot of problems with their kicking game,
which has been a strong point for them throughout the first 3 games of the season. But nonetheless, a huge play and a momentum changer as Justin Blois rumbles and sprints his way to the end zone. 71-yard run with 4:33 to play here in the third quarter. 7-6 now the score, as Blois will now kick it off to West Bridgewater for their second possession of the second half.
Well, there you go. West Bridgewater took the win, and Nantucket's got the touchdown. So things are looking up. Nantucket's going to get the win back with 4:33 to go. What they got to do is get the ball away from West Bridgewater before they put another one into the end zone.
And the Hawaiian section of our student body fired up after that touchdown.
If I knew it was Hawaiian Day, I would have sat over there.
You know, we didn't get the memo.
I would have worn my Hawaiian shirt. I wouldn't have worn and sat with them for a while.
I know you got a ton of them. I got a ton of them too. Blois going to have to re-tee it up here, which gives us a moment to once again thank our third quarter sponsors. William Ravis Real Estate. For all your real estate needs, go visit Kenny and the gang down on Main Street. And Dune Restaurant and Bar, conveniently located right on Broad Street, open nightly, year-round. And it'll be
They had 2 chances.
Holding it now.
After it blows down twice, the official tells them they have to get a holder.
There you go. So Blois will now kick it off. And another nice kickoff, going to bounce at about the 20. Picked up 25-30. Nice return across the 30 to about the 33-yard line. That was LeClaire with kickoff duties.
LeClaire took that on the bounce. It was dangerous the way it was bouncing, but he got it on the hop and got some positive yards on it. So West Bridgewater will be setting up on the 32. Let's see if the Nantucket defense can get together here and get another turnover.
So turnovers now even at 1 apiece. Whalers throwing an interception early in the game. And the fumble leading to the 71-yard touchdown scamper by Justin Blois. It'll be Raza handing it off. Amaya seems to be okay after getting shaken up briefly. And he plows ahead for about 3, maybe 4 yards across the 36-yard line.
Yeah, their last series where they had the fumble on the last play, they had a botched play right before that.
Yeah.
The handoffs were looking kind of scary there, and Nantucket took advantage of it. Let's see if that can happen again.
2 wide receivers come split to the far side of the field. LeClaire and Baker. It'll be 2 running backs in the backfield. Once again, Raza now fakes, And it will be a pitch out to Amaya. He's going to get the corner, probably get the first down, stays on his feet.
Yeah, he didn't
And
want to go
falls
out of
forward
bounds.
to the 44-yard line.
He didn't want to go out of
No.
bounds. He didn't want to stop that
And that's,
clock.
again, he's probably been coached, keep that clock rolling.
He didn't want to.
Although they probably could have used the top clock stoppage with the wind, but you know that's getting pretty picky about a kid who's trying to just not get hurt.
He definitely was told not to go out of bounds because he just stopped just before he got to the out of bounds mark.
Quickly to the line is West Bridgewater looking to take advantage of the wind, and it'll be a handoff up the middle, plugging ahead to about the 50.
Yeah, they got about 6 on that first down, so now they're in business now. That's what they want to do, pick up 5 or 6 on first down.
Down around the stop. To the Whalers.
So let's bring up 2nd and maybe a long 4.
That was DeLuca on the carry for West Bridgewater. Ball resting at exactly the 50-yard line. I formation for West Bridgewater. Motion and a pitch. It'll be Amaya trying to catch the corner, and he will be stopped, maybe a yard. Once again, that's right into the Nantucket defense's strength.
Strung that out a little bit too far. They're thinking they had the wide side of the field. We like to run those sweeps, but Nantucket speed takes away that.
Yep.
And he put his head down and ducked back in, basically getting back to the line of scrimmage.
They give him 1 yard, 3rd and 4, obvious 4-down territory for West Bridgewater, holding a very slim 1-point lead now. Blois with the missed extra point, the difference. 2 wide outs to the far side of the field, but it'll be up the middle and close to a first down.
Well, they're going to go for it if they didn't get it. I
Yeah,
think they got it, though.
I think they did get it based on the spot there. Once again, DeLuca on the carry. It has been DeLuca and Amaya all day with a smattering of a couple other runners, but basically those 2 guys.
They are going to take a look at it, so it's close enough to take a look at.
It is close. Not such a favorable spot that time.
So
And they're calling it.
They're going
calling
to
it 4th down, but they're going to measure it.
They're going to go out and measure it, and if they didn't get it, it's going to be probably about a foot shot.
Yeah.
They will go for it. I don't think they're going to kick it, even though
yeah.
they have the win. I think they'll go for it.
Going to have to take.
Let's first see how much it is. It's enough. Half a
First
football.
down.
First down, Wildcats.
Ball resting on the Nantucket side of the field at the 46-yard line. 1:31. The clock will start once the sticks get back in place. So not much time left for West Bridgewater to take advantage of the wind. But they haven't really passed to do anything with that anyway.
They may try to sneak one pass in this series here, see if they can get something downfield.
Raza with a couple wideouts, our side of the field, and look at that. Coach Herman calls it. Pass, deflected, almost intercepted by Blois, and he had nothing but green in front of him if he catches it.
He was gone if he got that.
Baker with a good play to break it up.
Yeah, I thought they'd go to the end zone with that. I was surprised they came back that shot. I thought if they'd take one look downfield, they'd go for it all. They did have somebody down at about the 10. That looked like it was open, but Justin was too quick to get back in there and knock it down.
Closed it off quickly, and again, he was making a play for turning it the other way. So 2nd and 10. Clock stopped with the incomplete pass at 1:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 7-6 our score. Whalers got a score earlier in the quarter on a huge run by Justin Blois. And it'll be Amaya caught by that Justin Blois behind the line. Once again, that's right into Nantucket's strength as far as defense.
Yeah, he's not quick enough to turn the corner. If they're going to sweep, he has to get out there and turn it upfield in a hurry. He doesn't. He tries to string it out, and Justin came all the way. Justin was covering something on the pass, and he comes all the way up, but he goes off the field. I don't know if he's a little dinged or just a little tired. He's got his helmet off on the sidelines right now.
A little bit of wind in, and Amaya also out of the game for West Bridgewater. So it'll be a shotgun formation as West Bridgewater faces its longest 3rd down, and it's going to be a double reverse. Baker with some room to run, and he rumbles Gets them into a more manageable 4th down. Got to think they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, they're going to go
Ball
for it.
resting at the 40-yard line now. Good gain.
I was thinking if it was going to be another incomplete pass, they would have punted it. But now they're going to go for it. They're going to let the clock run out.
Yeah,
here
let's
because
see if
they're going to run anyways.
they did not call a timeout, so it'll be the 4th quarter upcoming, and the Whalers got themselves onto the scoreboard with a huge run from Justin Blois, scampering 71 yards after the Whalers defense had forced a fumble. But the extra point no good. Our score going into the 4th quarter, 7-6, with West Bridgewater on the move. And they will face a 4th down when play resumes here. We'll have to see what Coach Kogler can dial up here. I got to think something up the middle.
I got to think that they're gonna go for it. The spot wasn't as good as I thought, so it's a long 5 or 6. If you're only throwing a short pass, that's still an option.
Yeah.
Even if you want to change to the punt, that's still an option because you don't have to punt it that far. You pick up, punt it 20, 25 yards and try to pin Nantucket on about the 15. So there's a lot of options there, but I think the first one is they're going to run the ball.
They're going to go for it, yep. I got a hunch they're going to go for it here too.
All right, both teams back from talking to their coaches on the sidelines. 1 quarter to go. Very exciting football game. 7-6, West Bridgewater leading.
And it is Raza in the shotgun, and they are going for it here on 4th and 4. Let's see what Nantucket can dial up on the defensive end of things. Raza rolling out back to pass. He's throwing the ball, got a man open, and that will be a completed catch for a 1st down for West Bridgewater.
Yeah, Joey Leclerc pulled that one in. The other guy, they had the guy going deep, which I thought they would have done with the wind, but they went back to the same play, throwing it to the underneath guy, and this time he completes it.
Good play and tiptoeing on the sidelines, making sure he stayed in bounds for the 1st down. And our 4th quarter is now brought to you by Nantucket Septic, providing Nantucket portable bathrooms and septic services, and Island Environmental Services. Handoff up the middle goes for a decent gain. Again, about 4 or 5 yards on 1st down.
That's all they want on 1st down. Then they're in their groove. They have 3 downs to pick up 6 yards. I don't think you're going to see them throw the ball here again.
Our other co-sponsor was Island Environmental Services, specializing in water treatment and unique septic design. So thanks very much to our co-sponsors, Nantucket Septic and Island Environmental Services. Once again, a handoff up the middle. Omaya, he's cut under right around the 21-yard line, so real close again to that 1st down marker.
See, that's where you want to run him. They try to run him outside.
Yep.
They're not gonna do it outside. They got to run him.
And Nantucket really hasn't stopped them, so why even try?
All right, so 3rd and a long 1 here. Ball's just outside the red zone on about the 21.
So West Bridgewater once again on the move. Nantucket's going to need a special play here to stop. Handoff, 1st man through, and it is a 1st down. That will be Will DeLuca once again.
He's down to about the 15, so they can pick up another 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 from about the 15. They can pick up a 1st down about the 5. Maybe it's inside the 15, actually. But still enough to pick up a 1st down inside, maybe.
Yeah, it looks about the 12-yard line.
So
it's hard to say. The shadows now are in the way of the yard markers, but looks like it's just outside the 10 at about the 12.
Not goal to goal.
And it'll be Raza gobbled up. That's what we needed.
Big stop there.
Big stop there. No gain on the play, bringing up 2nd and 10 as the Whalers defense tries and tighten up here with West Bridgewater on the doorstep.
I don't think a field goal is an option here. 1, you're kicking into the wind, and 2, if you get it, it's still a 1-score game. So you don't pick up much. So
Excellent point.
They're going to go for it on 4th down here if they don't pick up the 1st down.
And that was a safe bet anyways. They've gone for it pretty. We haven't seen the punter yet, so one punt, I should say. And flag comes out. We'll have to see, maybe delay a game. Delay a game on West Bridgewater. A rare mental mistake. And that is an ill-timed penalty.
That's on the coaches when
Yeah.
that happens. If you sort of fall asleep yourself, having your quarterback come over, and your quarterback comes over, and instead of saying run A47, you start talking to him about this and that.
Yep.
It's on you. So coach picks up 5 there.
2nd down and 15, call it. Split backs in the backfield. Raza gets the handoff, and he tries to keep it. Now gets the pitch off to Amaya, trying to catch the corner. Not going to do it. Avoids one tackler, but that will not get it done.
Yeah, he busted one.
Bringing up a 3rd and very long for West Bridgewater into the wind.
He broke one tackle, but I think they're going to say he actually lost a yard on that. Just about getting back to the line of scrimmage. Now you almost have to think pass.
And it'll be quickly out of the huddle, West Bridgewater. 2 backs in the backfield, LeClaire and Baker. And it'll be Raza rolling. He's throwing, got a man open, and that'll be a touchdown.
LeClaire.
West Bridgewater. Wide
LeClaire
open.
is wide open. Broken play there. Now.
And it'll be
Decision.
a touchdown pass by Raza. I believe that's his first of the year throwing the ball. They are run heavy, but taking advantage, as you said, the pass was a surprise,
Now
even though it is on 3rd down.
You go for 2, coach.
They are not going for 2, lining up
You
for
keep it a 1-score game. You go
for another
2.
extra point here,
you go
quickly.
for 2, you make it a 2-score game.
And the kick is up and good. So 14-6. Interesting choice there.
Yeah, I would have went for 2. I would have made it a 2-score game. But at least now you know that Nantucket has to score and has to score the 2.
Got to go for 2. So it is basically a 2-score game, but a different kind of play. They have to be successful on the 2-point conversion. But that's far down the field here as Nantucket now finds themselves down 14-6 with 7:57 to play in the game.
And they have the wind.
They do have the wind.
So look for them to
open up the playbook.
Put the pass out there, and let's get number 1 and number 2 out in space any way you can. Short passes, long passes, sweeps.
And even J.J. Bennett or Jaquan Francis haven't heard anything from either one of those guys, and they were integral in the win against Nauset. So again, we'll have to see. There's only been 1 possession for Nantucket. West Bridgewater has shortened the game, and now just 7:57 to play. And West Bridgewater holding a 14-6 lead. Kickoff ensuing here with a couple of deep guys. We'll see if it gets back there.
We'll never get to them there. This is going to be a pooch over the first wave.
Or right at somebody. Cass advancing it now to the 40. And out to about the 43-yard line.
I think the coaches spoke to him.
If you get it.
Comes to you, run a little bit.
Run a little bit.
We'll take the falling off.
So 1st and 10, Nantucket.
And Nantucket needs to get some points in this drive.
Absolutely.
Because if West Bridgewater gets the ball back, we know they can do a 5, 6, 7-minute drive easy.
It's going to be a steady diet of number 23 and number 2, which it has been all day. And it is Blois catching the edge, and he's got space. 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Forget about it. Touchdown! Warriors can't stop him.
There's the sweep.
Wow.
55,
No flags
50.
on the play. Oh,
there's a flag
we
here.
do have a flag on the play. Oh. Illegal block. Bring it back.
So it takes away a 57-yarder.
Oh, that is a heartbreaker.
It'll be enough for a first down, depending on, I think it'll be a first down, and then, the distance is first down, so it'll be a first down, and then they'll mark it back 10.
So take away the touchdown.
So it turns out to be an 11-yard gain. So that's a 47-yard penalty.
Huge penalty. 1st and 10, however, the bright side of it is that the Whalers have a first down inside West Bridgewater territory at the 46-yard line.
West Bridgewater 46-yard line.
Psst, give it to him again. Maybe not on this play. Let him catch his breath.
Let's go to the left side this time.
It'll be
That's the wide side left.
2 wide receivers, Shea in motion. And it'll be Aguilar trying to keep it. And he is gathered in with a short gain. 2nd down, give him maybe 1 yard.
Yeah, a little bit hesitant there.
Yeah.
He didn't know whether he wanted to run or pass, and then he gets caught behind. He doesn't have the blazing speed, and he wasn't sure what he wanted to do.
Not quite the breakaway speed of Blois or Baden.
Boys seemed to hang back there.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about him catching his breath.
Yeah,
Catch your breath on the sidelines, then come back in.
get somebody else.
Don't waste a play
Yeah.
by just hanging out.
So clock now running with 6:35 to play. Baden in motion. He'll get the handoff and he'll try. He breaks a tackle. Oh! And it'll be West Bridgewater gathering in right at the sideline in front of their players.
Borden tried to make an extra move there, lost it. Looked like it was going to go out of bounds.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden it died right in front of us, and we couldn't see the pile up, but we saw a lot of white jerseys jump, and if it didn't go out of bounds, it's their ball easily.
Ball rests at the 49-yard line of West Bridgewater, where they will take over on the turnover.
Now you got to
What a
start thinking about
crazy
using
momentum shift there. The touchdown erased on a penalty and then a turnover. 6:25 to play, 14-6 our score. Going to take a huge defensive effort here to get West Bridgewater off the field, as momentum has once again shifted to the Wildcats side of things. 4 or 5 yards on 1st down inside Nantucket territory to the 46.
Nantucket trying to punch the ball out there, but West Bridgewater holding on tight.
Bottom on the stop for the Whalers.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
Under 6 minutes to go.
Bennett slowly rambles off the field. Raza sprints in with the play for West Bridgewater. And it'll be Baker split to one side, LeClaire to the far side of the field, 2 running backs. As Raza hands it to the up man, who bounces off a tackler, actually his own lineman, but stumbles ahead close to 1st down yardage.
Yeah,
It'll
trying to
be
get
3rd
behind
and
that
2.
blocker. The blocker made the 1st down, but not the ball carrier.
Once again, our score 14-6.
And they are in 4-down territory here.
For sure. It's going to take a huge effort here for Nantucket to stop West Bridgewater, as they have pretty much pounded out 3 or 4 yards almost every carry behind a big offensive line and a couple of experienced, strong running backs. Raza fakes, and it'll be Amaya strung out, and he will not get the 1st down. In fact, will lose yardage.
Another coaching mistake there. I think the coach is yelling he should have gave it to the first guy. I think that was the quarterback's mistake.
He could have kept it himself and stumbled ahead for the 1st down.
Yeah.
Now it'll be 4th and about 2 or 3. And once again, West Bridgewater will go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for it, but
Huge
that was,
play here with 4:48.
they won't call that play again, not for a while, because they weren't happy with the result. Either the coach, the play call, but he was sort of yelling at the quarterback, saying the quarterback never should have pitched it.
This could be the game on the line here for Nantucket. 4:48 to play. 4th down and 3. Handoff and nothing doing. Amaya is stuffed, and that will turn it over on downs. Huge defensive stand.
In on that tackle, the first one making the hit was Ryan Downey.
What a play.
Downey didn't make the tackle, but he stood the ball carrier up, slowed him down, and then he was snowed under.
Stopped Amaya's forward progress.
Put a little
And-
star next to Downey on that one.
The Whalers will take over. I think for the Celtics, it used to be a Tommy point.
A Tommy point,
There you
right.
go. That is a Tommy point right there.
Tommy point there for Ryan Downey.
So Nantucket's going to need a score here. 4:42 to play, down 14-6. 3 wideouts to the short side. It'll be Blois getting it and looking to shake and bake. Unable to do so. Falls ahead to about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they were waiting for that. They
Yeah.
knew the long side of the field was this way. They knew Boyce was coming this way, so they had plenty of artillery over here. Now you got to maybe run to the short side of the field. We had a coach, Coach Karen, used to love to run his sweep to the short side
Yeah.
of the field. He said because the other team is not looking that
Not
way.
looking
though.
for it that way. Aguilar in that shotgun pistol. And it'll be a handoff to Shea, who tries the left side, and he is unable to get anything going once again. The Wildcats looked ready for that one, and Shea slow to get up.
Slow to
with
get up.
3:53-52 to play.
That'll
They stop the clock. Whalers down 14-6 and facing a 3rd and long. And kids respectfully down on their knee as Shea just slow to get up, but he is a tough kid, plays offense and defense and under his own power.
I like it when he runs the counter play. That was sort of a
that double
sweep.
handoff or that counter play, yeah.
That sweep there wasn't playing into his strengths there.
So 3rd and 11 now for the Whalers. This has obviously got to be 4-down territory as time now a factor with 3:40 and counting.
You look at the clock, but you got the wind at your back.
Yeah.
So
maybe you pin them back. But
maybe you pin them back with a punt and hope your defense can get a turnover in better field position. Let's see what happens on this play. It's obviously
Aguilar
a pass.
with Bodden in motion. It'll be Blois getting the handoff. He's going to try and get the edge. Nope, cuts it back. Still on his feet. And now gang tackled. It'll be a loss on the play.
I think
he tried to make something out of nothing, but
I think he got a punt.
I think now you do have to punt. 3:05 to play and counting.
You punt, try to pin him back there. I think you have three timeouts left.
Yeah. It's 4th and about 14 yards for the Whalers. Down 14-6. 2:50 to play now. They are taking their time figuring this out too.
Yeah, you got to be ready for this situation.
Aguilar in, so this is going to be a 4th and long.
This is the game here. You don't
This
pick
is
up,
absolutely the game.
don't pick
Blois
up
looks
15
winded as
here.
well. J.J. Bennett out here, Bodden out here to the short side of the field, and now finally calling timeout is Nantucket. That's a lot of wasted time with 2:28 to play.
Yeah, they're thinking it over here. Somewhere along the lines, the coaches didn't like what they were setting up. Let's
Or
see
maybe
if
second guessing the going for it here, and maybe they will punt. But man, that was about 20 seconds of clock ticked off there.
At least.
Valuable time to say the least. And once again, our 4th quarter sponsored by our good friends at Nantucket Septic and Island Environmental Services. And again, a couple of new sponsors. Thanks very much to our newest sponsors.
And we're looking.
It is how this happens.
We're looking for some sponsors for the Island Cup game and the playoffs. So
There are a few spots left for our Island Cup.
Give the station a call. If you see Chris or Dick walking around town, riding their bike around town, stop us. We'll get you right on there for the Island Cup game.
You can even email me at chrism@nctv18.org.
All right, so let's see. They're still going to go for
They
it.
are going to go for it here. So here is the ball game. Aguilar with Blois in the backfield. He's back to pass. Throwing it up for Bowden. He's got him. Oh, unable to grab it. At the 32-yard line, he was open behind the defense.
Yeah, he had to dive for it, but he didn't have to take it in. He just had to hold on to it. If he held on to it, Nantucket has a first down. Now they got to get the ball back here. They have 2 timeouts left. So
this is going to have to be a 3 and out here for any chance.
2 to 3 first downs ends the game. So
Yeah.
West Bridgewater only has to eat the clock up, which they're very good at.
So Nantucket going to have to try and force a turnover here to get the ball back. 14-6 our score, 2:22 to play in the fourth quarter. Raza, handoff, and plowing ahead for about 4 or 5 yards.
They ought not to use their
There's
timeout
DeLuca.
here.
So they give him 4 yards on first down, 2nd and 6. Clock will tick-tock, 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 under 2 minutes. So the blocking penalty looms large, erasing a touchdown. Missed field goal, missed extra point. Lots of opportunities for the Whalers. But it's going to take a huge defensive stand here and a bit of a miracle to score in what is now down to 133 and counting. Raza taking his time getting under center. And an iffy handoff, but a good gain, and that will be a first down run
Well, that does it.
for West Bridgewater.
Nantucket will use their timeout, but that pretty much does it. They may have one more timeout left, but only a minute 20 to go. And barring a fumble, which Bridgewater can run the clock out. I'm going to go with my 3 stars. I'm going to go into the trenches today and get some of the big guys out there.
Okay.
My number 3 star is going to go to senior George Boucher. My number 2 star, junior, number 53, Steve Romano. My number 1 star, I'm going to go with the big guy, 75, junior, Sawyer Colby.
Sawyer Colby. Okay, so
those are
stay
my
tuned
3
for our
stars.
post-game report as we will award the MVP. And,
That's
we
subject
will-
to change if a miracle
Subject
happens.
to change, of course.
If something magical happens in the next 120, I will revise my list. But right now, I'm going with those 3 guys.
All right.
Sometimes those guys don't get their names called out as much.
That's
but
true.
They're doing the work and
The trenches, they
the
call it.
trenches. Right now, they got to dig something out of this trench and somehow get the ball.
So now West Bridgewater calls a timeout. Coach Kogler will regroup.
Now
that
you say
will be-
why is he calling a timeout? It's not stopping the clock. The clock's already stopped. He just wants to
Formation.
see what the formation was for Nantucket on defense, if it's changed any,
Yep.
and he just wants to reiterate what the play he's going to call.
2 hands on the ball, I believe, might be one of those things that he
No.
reiterates.
No fumble call. We're going to call the no fumble play.
And we will be following our post-game show and trying to get one of the coaches for the Whalers for a post-game interview. I think we are going to try and get Coach Tim Saradellis, the defensive coordinator.
We had Tim last week.
We did have Tim last week, and it is the victory formation now for West Bridgewater as they just got to snap it and down the ball. Nantucket can only stop it this last time, and they do with 1:14 to play.
Yeah, one of the assistant coaches, and that's usually what happens, one of the assistant coaches does the math and figures it out and says, we don't have to run another play here.
Well, you were the math teacher. You probably had that one figured out already, baby.
You always figure it out. So they're gonna put their knee down
Yeah.
and not have to run another play. And
Well,
if they
despite the outcome, which looks to be a West Bridgewater 14-6 victory, a beautiful day for football. Missed opportunities, unfortunately, for Nantucket as they had some.
This doesn't hurt their league because they're not into the league yet. 2 league
true.
games because of the Monomoy skipping out.
That's true.
The next game against Sandwich and then the Vineyard. The last 2 games of the league game. But it does hurt the playoff situation because you get into the playoffs based upon your record. So now they're going to go in with 2 losses. So the best they can do is 4-2.
Yeah.
Only 2 games remaining. They may not get you a home game. And if you lose one of those 2 games, now you're on the not getting into the playoffs with a 3-3 record. So we'll see what happens. But this one here, unless they fumble putting their knee down, it's going to end the game.
And that will do it, folks. The clock will strike 0 here without West Bridgewater having to run another play, and that makes their trip back home a little shorter anyways, as they will jump on a boat, earning themselves a hard-fought victory here at Vito Capizzo Stadium. As we tick-tock off the last little bit here, under 5 seconds, the final will be 14-6.
Yeah, you can't make mistakes that Nantucket made today against a solid club. West Bridgewater's not a great club, but they're a solid club.
A very solid effort, and again, well-coached West Bridgewater team as they move their record to 3-1, and Nantucket drops back to 2-2. And we will begin our post-game report here on NCTV 18. Again, thanks for joining Dick Herman and myself, Chris Morris, live from Vito Capizzo Stadium, where you saw the Nantucket Whalers lose a close, hard-fought game, 14-6 to the West Bridgewater Wildcats. Dick, a good effort, a couple of plays gone different ways, and we would be looking at a Whalers win, but unfortunately, that is not the case.
Yeah, too many mistakes. The first touchdown for West Bridgewater, they had the craziness of 4 offside penalties by the defensive line linebackers that kept that drive going. Then the big one naturally was Justin's touchdown being called back.
Yeah.
And you throw in an interception in there and
a fumble.
And a fumble. And you can't make mistakes against a solid club. West Bridgewater is a solid club, well tested. They showed that when they come back last week there 2 weeks ago in the overtime game. They hung in there today, and they hung in there long enough to win it.
And they actually had a very good setup as far as what they were coming here to do. And that was run the ball and run it up the middle. And they did a good job controlling the line of scrimmage. And really, that was the difference. They were able to move the ball effectively, use that clock, shorten the game, as we mentioned. And eventually they put it in the end zone. One via the pass, which was basically a surprise there at the end. And obviously the 1-yard plunge in the first quarter. Our post-game report is presented by Nantucket Bank, a division of Rockland Trust, and Nantucket Bank has been a long-time supporter of Whalers football. We do have to award an MVP, and you had mentioned a couple of linemen and a couple interior guys.
A couple of guys in the trenches. You got to give them a shout-out once in a while.
You do have to give them at least a shout-out. But I got to give it to our guy number 1. Justin Boyce is just one of those special guys, and unfortunately one of his touchdowns, one of those pinball runs again, was erased by the penalty. And I think we're going to award it to Justin Boyce, number 1. He scored on a 71-yard touchdown run and had one called back, unfortunately. Also almost intercepted a ball that if he picks that one off, he's off to the races. But our NCTV 18's MVP for this game is Justin Boyce, number 1.
West Bridgewater comes in here and shows you that as a football team, you don't have to do a lot of things. You just have to do a few things good.
Excellent point.
And they did a few things good that kept them in the ball game. They were going to stay in this ball game no matter what, and they stayed in long enough to win it.
Solid defense, and again, just pounding the ball. I think, again, they only threw the ball a couple of times, one of them for a touchdown that I think basically surprised Nantucket. It was a steady diet of Amaya, Baker occasionally mixed in there, and number 2 as they just blasted it right up the gut. And unfortunately, Whalers unable to stop them when it counted. And again, Too many mistakes. Just too many mistakes.
Yeah, if we were picking a MVP for West Bridgewater, we have a lot of options.
We'd have a few options. Yeah.
And I would go with the number 5. You know, I think there was broken coverage on that.
Yeah,
on Nantucket.
Leclerc,
He was so wide open, Leclerc, that it just.
All he had to do was catch it and fall in the end zone, and it was a pretty easy score. That put the West Bridgewater Wildcats up 14-6. They were able to hold off basically a penalty, erase the touchdown to tie it or potentially tie it, and then they were able to run the clock out by just pounding the ball straight ahead. And unfortunately, Nantucket unable to stop them and get the ball back.
That was huge.
Moving forward, we've got a huge matchup, league game finally, with Sandwich coming up in a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, Monomoy was scheduled for next weekend. That game will not happen because they do not have a varsity program.
They won yesterday, by the way.
They did win.
They beat St. John Paul 22-8, I think.
So, again, that's above our pay grade, that kind of stuff. So we'll have to figure out whether Nantucket actually gets credit for a win or whether that game just gets erased, and that's what it is as far as the playoff rankings. But the Sandwich Blue Knights, again, another one of those teams that kind of always has a good team, and they have another one this year. They play this afternoon as well. I haven't heard if
they beat up the Vineyard.
They beat Vineyard.
Vineyard last night.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so they're in first place now in the league. So if for Nantucket to win the league, they got to beat Sandwich at Sandwich, and Sandwich has already got one league win.
Yeah.
So tough road, but you play the game on the field, and you got to play it in 2 weeks. Nantucket will have a week to extra to get ready for them. They'll be able to scout them next week. I assume Sandwich has a game next week.
They do,
and see what they're made of.
So we'll see what the coaching staff can come up with as far as adjustments. Again, I think just a matter of getting Blois and Baden in the right spots will be good enough on offense, and defensively they played very solid. If we'll see if defensively they can come up and stop Sandwich, a very talented team, and we will be coming up with our on-field analysis and interview from our good friend over at Nantucket Current, David Creed, and he will be grabbing offensive coordinator Tim Saradellis. So he is again another interview. We interviewed him last week, and very interesting. Obviously, a much different game, but Tim Saradellis has dialed up a great scheme, and he's got some talent on the outside to get the ball to. So once again, David Creed, who comes to us from Nantucket Current, will conduct our on-field interview this afternoon. So hopefully you stay tuned for that. Our next broadcast, however, will be for the Island Cup.
Homecoming weekend.
Always special when we get to say Island Cup. 41st edition of the Island Cup, and you've seen a few of them, huh?
I've seen a few of them, yes.
We'll just leave it at that. So fantastic stuff as Martha's Vineyard will come and pay us a visit. That will be on October 30th. So we've got a little bit of time before our next broadcast. But as we said, Sandwich will be the next game for the Whalers. That'll come up off island. And we'll have to see if we make a trip. I don't know if the cameras are going to make a trip with us, but we may make the trip.
We'll see.
We'll see. So once again, our final score here from Vito Capiso Stadium is 14-6. Unfortunately, the Whalers on the short end of the stick, but they had their opportunities. They did have a couple of plays nullified via penalty and just a bunch of penalties that led to one of the scores. 4 offside penalties on the defensive line. I just hate even saying it.
Never seen anything like that in my life in one series.
Really.
I can see for one game that happens, but on one series, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is pretty incredible. So it sounds like we have David Creed available for a chat here, us via the studio. David, can you hear me down there?
Yeah, Chris, I can hear you down.
We're doing fantastic. Obviously the short end of the score here, but how did things look down there? I mean, it seemed like a pretty physical game in the trenches.
Yeah, I felt like both the offensive and defensive line for Nantucket played well. I felt like the difference in the game was that West Bridgewater was just more disciplined. Nantucket had 4 offside penalties on one drive that led to West Bridgewater's score. They had West Bridgewater in a 3rd and 9, commit back-to-back offsides, gives them the first down. You can't do that if you want to win football games. So I thought that was the difference.
Yeah, it was definitely a interesting set of events, that first series with, again, Dick had just said, never seen 4 offsides in one series defensively.
I haven't either.
They adjusted nicely, though, but unable to get those guys offensively. Again, Justin Blois and Mekhi Bodden really unleashed. Justin had one big run run called back as well. So, again, you talked about discipline. The Whalers unable to avoid the penalty, and that ultimately erased the touchdown that potentially could have tied the game.
Right, yeah, that's the thing is, the offside, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that they had an offside in the second half. But then Justin breaks off that 57-yard touchdown run, and it gets called back because of blocking the back. So penalties, I think, were the Achilles heel for Nantucket today. I think you're right on the money about that one.
Absolutely. And you are gathering up Coach Tim Saradelis here shortly. But, again, thanks very much for the collaboration with one of our newest news formats, the Nantucket Current. And you're doing a great job. You cover all the sports for them. Is that correct?
I cover all of them, Chris. I'm a busy guy, but I love doing it. I love covering Nantucket sports. The kids are great. Coaches are awesome. Parents, families, they're all great. So, it's really not work for me. It's something I love doing. So, and I know you feel the same way.
Yeah, we get to hang out and watch a kids game, really, and it is a lot of fun. And again, this community gets behind its sports quite a bit, and we're passionate about any and all of the sports, up to and including football. But a big day for Whalers as well. They had a couple of field hockey games today and some soccer. So not just football to celebrate here today.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, can you come here for a second? Ask you a couple of questions.
So David Creed trying to gather one of the coaches here.
You're going to get a West Bridgewater coach.
It looks like Justin Kogler is on the...
I don't think Nantucket coaches want to talk on camera today.
It is unfortunate that the Nantucket Whalers came up on the short end, but a great game. I mean, it is definitely one of those things that, a couple plays here and there, and it could have gone either way. But let's go down to David Creed from Nantucket Current. Yes. He's got head coach of West Bridgewater, Justin Kogler.
Yep, I'm here with Coach Kogler after a 14-6 win. Coach, what did you think your team did today that allowed you guys to pull off the victory? You can take this mic too if you want.
Yeah, sure. I would say definitely ball control. I mean, we wanted to keep the ball out of number 1 and number 2's hands as much as we could. Those two guys, as you can see, the couple times they touched it, I mean, they're game breakers. Yeah. And they're scary on film and they're scary in person. So we wanted to play ball control as best we could, keep the ball out of their hands, and try to limit as many big plays as we could. And I think that's probably what was the difference.
And did you guys see something on tape or whatnot that you felt like you could draw Nantucket offsides? Because it seemed like you guys did a good job with the hard count, and obviously had 4 offsides on one.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen too much of that on film for Nantucket, but we try to go on multiple counts, and that's a point of emphasis for us this year, was to make sure that we're not predictable on our counts. And we were going on one early in the game, and then we started to mix up our counts a little bit, and we got them a couple times.
And you were expecting this to be a physical game, assuming after last year's 16-6.
Absolutely. I mean, watching them on film, I knew that they were going to be one of the most talented, if not the most talented team we're going to see all year. With their speed and size, their DNs are huge. I mean, that one kid must be like 6'6" or something, man. He's big. Yeah. But we just knew that we had to grind it out and play physical football, and that's the only way we were going to beat them.
And what's one area of your team that you feel like from the first game to now has improved the most and that you think really showed today?
We're getting better up front every week. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of inexperienced guys up front. some guys that weren't on the team last year. I got a freshman up there, so these guys keep getting better every week, and we've been protecting the ball better. We haven't had too many turnovers the past couple weeks. So,
and then you have a first-year quarterback too. It seems like he has good command of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, today, like I said, we'd like to let them throw a little bit more, but with their athletes in the secondary, with this wind, I wasn't expecting this wind.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure this isn't windy by Nantucket standards, but we in this wind, especially going into the wind, we didn't want to take shots because if something fluttered in the air, if he didn't get a tight spiral, number 2 and number 1 come down with it, we're not going to catch him going the other way. So he made the completions when he had to.
Right. And it felt like also, I mean, you guys, you kind of just mentioned it, the conversions. You had that conversion down, you got that second touchdown on that third down. You had a fourth down conversion. Do you practice that situational football a lot?
Yeah, like on the third and longs or whatever.
Yeah.
We have certain plays to get to certain spots, and we did practice that a lot this week, and luckily we did.
And how did you feel like? I know Justin, he had one that counted, one that didn't count. How did you feel like you guys did contain the edge?
Overall, okay. We got misaligned once, and we got lucky with a penalty. But yeah, I mean, overall we did okay. I wish we would have done better. But they do a nice job, those coaches, of mixing up formations and motioning and shifting. And a couple times our kids panicked and put themselves out of position, and they got us out leveraged a couple times. So I'm gonna have to fix that.
And what was one area you felt like you guys didn't do well, aside from that what you just mentioned? What was something maybe specifically you felt like offensively you didn't do well, defensively?
Defensively, I thought we could have still tackled better.
Yeah.
I mean, over there on one of the last plays of the game, we had like 9 guys there, and he still almost wiggled his way out of there. We got to do a better job of putting our shoulder pads on him and wrapping up and getting people to the ball and not just kind of grabbing that cloth. Kids like that are just too fast and too strong to tackle that way.
Right. And then what's next for you guys? Who are you playing next?
We have Holbrook Avon next week.
Okay.
We have two league opponents, and then we have Wareham to finish the season.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And have a safe boat ride back.
See you. Thank you.
Yep. I'll take this from you. And now we're going to go back to Chris Morris.
Thanks very much. David Creed doing some on-field interviewing for us here from the Nantucket Current. So a team effort here on NCTV 18's presentation of Whalers football. And, of course, thanks very much to Coach Kogler for joining us for an on-field interview after his team picked up the victory here at Vito Capiso Stadium. West Bridgewater winning 14-6, hard-fought game, as we noted. And we would like to thank you for watching Nantucket Community Television's live coverage of Whaler football. And we want to extend a heartfelt thanks to all of our sponsors. Your continued support makes this broadcast possible, benefits our island student athletes, and makes this game accessible to Whalers fans no matter where they are. And we want to give special thanks to our key sponsors, Mac Davis Flooring, Nantucket Marine, 8 Armed Chef Services, Champion Rentals, William Ravis Real Estate, Island Environmental Services, Nantucket Septic, Dune Restaurant and Bar, and Nantucket Bank. And of course, if you are interested in becoming part of the sponsorship team, just send me an email at chrism@nctv18.org. And I got to give a huge shout out to our incredible team. The director of this broadcast, Frank Schad, camera operators, Katie O'Connor, Charlie Hoyleman, our on-field camera today, Sean Davis, and our scoreboard technician, Carlton Ruby. And again, the Whalers will be on the road next week in 2 weeks against the Blue Knights of Sandwich. And then it is the 41st Annual Island Cup right here, October 30th. That will be our next NCTV 18 broadcast, so please join us then. Of course, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all the updates in case the time switches a little bit. And you can relive our 3 home games right on YouTube. Just jump on the NCTV 18 YouTube page and you will see all 3 broadcasts available. And you can join us this Sunday morning at 9 o'clock for the rebroadcast of this game as well. Again, we hope you join us here for October 30th, 41st presentation of the Island Cup. For NCTV 18, and Dick Herman. I'm Chris Morris. Thank you very much for joining us here for Whalers football. Once again, the final score from Vito Capiso Stadium, the West Bridgewater Wildcats 14, your Nantucket Whalers 6. Have a great weekend.